But still, at this point in the game, you've got to wonder if HINDS is maybe setting up a fake or some sort of trick play here to try to maybe even get in the end zone.
And unfortunately not this time. They'll go ahead and just punt this one away. Let's see where it lands, and almost takes a HINDS bounce, but goes into the end zone where Southwest will take over on the 20-yard line.
Ultimately, trusting your defense does make sense after a 3-and-out on the last drive. HINDS needs another here.
So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Southwest Bears. And that's where Goss will take over. And as you said, Sid, a 3-and-out for this Eagles defense on the last drive, looking to keep it going here. And they'll hand this ball off, and he's pushed forward for a gain of a few. That was Fred Wells on the carry.
Really impressed with this HINDS defense and their ability to buckle down as of late. Haven't really allowed anything off of Southwest as of late. They've done a really good job adjusting.
And there's a flag down, free play here. They go to the air, and it is caught. And that is an impressive play. The penalty is going to be declined as TJ Johnson able to reel that one in. I thought that ball was overthrown, but Johnson uses every part of that 6'3" frame to corral that one in.
And that's just a bad break for HINDS there. Obviously, it was a free play, but the defense ultimately did everything right. They had the receiver double team. They were in his grill, too, playing very disciplined but effective coverage. Unfortunately, a tremendous catch negates that good defense, and Southwest manages to pull a huge splash play out of nowhere.
So an unlucky break for HINDS. As you said, that was good coverage, just a real nice play from the receivers. They find that route over the top. He's got room to go and stays in bounds and is tackled at about the 7-yard line. And it's that drag route.
And after not going back to it after HINDS had stopped it a few times, they pull that drag route back out, and it's another huge play. This time it's number 13, Marcellus Jackson, on the big gain.
They hand it off here deep in the red zone, and that is going to be a stop for HINDS. Fred Wells, the running back, on the carry there.
HINDS has played pretty solid defense in the red zone today. They need another stop here in the red zone to prevent this from becoming a 3-score match.
Certainly possible with how this defense has played so far. They just, despite a few big plays, have played fairly well. As Goss lines up, another handoff. This time it's to Hunter, and he is dragged down short. Another nice stand there from HINDS.
Very impressed with the defense here. They're playing extremely physically. They're playing extremely tough. Faced some adversity here on this drive, but we're seeing this defense do a really, really good job to buckle down and ultimately push this offense for Southwest back, as we've got 2 yards to the end zone here.
So 2 yards. The Bears have been in this situation before. Let's see if they do it again. I think that's going to be ruled short. So a nice stand there from HINDS. It is now decision time as the ball is on the 2-yard line. What do you do here if you're the Bears?
Southwest needs to take the points. You're up. It's still the first half. You need to take the points here because that's 3 times in a row this tremendous HINDS defense has just straight up pushed them back on an and-goal situation. But it looks like Southwest is going to push all their chips to the table on this drive here.
And HINDS want timeout to adjust. We'll take a quick timeout with him, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
Told you to hop for no reason.
It's not gonna work again, though. It'll work. The same problem.
It'll work. Watch your head.
He's gonna hit his head.
Watch your head.
And we're back after the timeout called by HINDS as Southwest in a situation with a decision. And it looks as if they're still going to go for it. HINDS called a timeout to adjust the defense, as this is probably the biggest play in the ballgame so far. 17-7 in favor of Southwest. The opportunity for HINDS to force a stop and get off the field. So let's see. Goss puts a receiver in motion, drops back, and touchdown off the quick outside throw.
Offensive coordinator Dominique Sullivan, very confident in his decision to go for it, despite being given time to reconsider. And that choice pays off, as despite a tremendous job by HINDS to push Southwest back at the goal line, Southwest still eventually able to find pay dirt on the drive.
It took a really impressive throw from Goss. He had to drill that one right into the hands as the coverage was there, but just got a little bit too much room, did Pater, and we see a touchdown in favor of Southwest.
Pretty unfortunate circumstances on that drive HINDS faces. Two just frankly extremely impressive catches by this receiving corps for Southwest in the face of good coverage by this HINDS secondary. And now the Bears find themselves up 17, but HINDS does have a very good chance to answer and keep this game close going into halftime.
So 5 minutes left to go in this opening first half of play. Gardner and Henderson are back to receive the ball. And so let's see what the offensive unit for HINDS can do. With 5 minutes left, you need to put some points on the board. It's going to be Gardner making the catch at around the 10-yard line. He'll go up towards the middle, bounce back outside. He's got a little bit of room towards the 30-yard line, tries to cut back in, and the HINDS drive will begin at the 33-yard line after a nice play from Gardner.
Gardner trying to hit the home run on the touchdown. I'm surprised that rather than cutting back, he didn't just try to get up and get out to the outside. He probably wouldn't have scored, but he probably would have gotten about 10 more yards and given HINDS better field position. Nonetheless, another phenomenal return from this HINDS special teams unit, as this is one area of the game that we can confidently say that HINDS has dominated.
So with 5 minutes left to play, HINDS will have the ball at their own 33-yard line. Important drive here. Really need to put some points on the board going into the half. Maybe bring some momentum back to your team. And there's nothing to say that you can't go down and score here and get the ball back and potentially score again.
100%, but that's going to require precise execution on both sides of the ball.
So they go on the ground here. It's Johnson with the carry. That's a gain of about 3.
That's a good start to the drive for HINDS, of course. They don't need to be in a hurry by any means to score and even score again. So stick to that running game. You've been able to consistently get 3 or 4 yards, most carries.
And so Watson drops back into the shotgun, looks to pass, tries to take a shot, and I think his arm was just hit as he was releasing the ball. Trey Henderson was the intended receiver over at about the 50-yard line, but
they say football is a game of inches, and that's one of those examples where it really is. Trey Henderson's wide open, and a few inches make the difference between Jabari Watson's arm, I should say, being hit and him being able to complete the pass. And Henderson being able to break open a huge play for HINDS.
So Watson drops back to pass again, and no time. That is a fumble and recovered by the Bears. Unlucky break that just didn't quite give Watson enough time, and he was hit hard in the backfield. And the Bears will take over at about the 35-yard line.
That's a brutal blow for the Southwest offense. had a good start to the drive. You had opportunities with open receivers, but that strip sack changes everything. Not only do you lose the opportunity to score, but you hand Southwest the ball with great field position from the opposing 35. As time wanes here in the first half, potentially see a 4-score game at halftime.
So Goss comes out and they hit that drag route over the middle, gets forward, powerful running there as he's eventually dragged out after a pretty substantial game. That was DeMarco Blanton on the reception. They've hit him a few times tonight.
We've got flags flying. We'll see what the refs have to say, but Hinds needs to make adjustments, potentially go back to leaving 2 linebackers at those lower levels to prevent the drag route. And that face mask will bring the ball half the distance to the goal here for Southwest.
Okay, so I missed the call. There was a face mask there.
Yes, it was, Charlie, a face mask.
Perfect. All righty, so Southwest now has the ball in deep field possession in the red zone. And Hinds being forced into action again as they get a sack on the quarterback. That's a great start to that possession.
I love that blitz scheme there. Love that blitz scheme by defensive coordinator John Hendrick. Every time he's brought the safety on the blitz, Hinds has found their way into the backfield, and that time, as you said, it was R.J. Hall. He comes into the backfield unprotected, blazing speed, and he gets a huge sack that shifts a lot of momentum in favor of this Hinds defense, as a field goal really doesn't hurt you that bad.
So nice play there from R.J. Hall, and the blitz and a deflected pass there. Hinds defense turn it up as it'll be 3rd and goal from the 15.
Great situational awareness and a very intelligent play by DeVark Woods there. As a defensive lineman, you want to get your hands up if you can when the quarterback passes, because you might just find yourself with a deflection. And what was almost an interception and what would have been a substantial return to boot there for Hinds, simply because you get your hands up and tip a ball.
So Goss now goes to the air, and that one is up and incomplete. Great coverage there from Hinds once again. There's no flags down. This will bring up 4th and goal from the 15, and Southwest will be forced to send the kicking unit out there. That's a great job from Hinds after putting themselves in a tough spot.
More or less the best possible result out of this drive from this Hinds defense is they buckle down and prevent Southwest from dealing any more damage. You keep it a 3-score game, and there's still time on the clock for Hinds to potentially get this back to a 2-score game as the field goal sails through.
So 27-7 in favor of Southwest. Nice job from the Hinds defense to give themselves a break in a tough position. And this is where the offense needs to strike to at least get this back to a 2-score game, and give themselves a chance going into halftime.
Great scheming by defensive coordinator John Hendrick there. That decision to send R.J. Hall on the blitz changed everything on this drive, as instead of having it 8-7 to go to score, that doubles the distance. That sack changes everything. And this Hinds secondary has played phenomenally, not just in pass coverage, but also in the pass rush.
So Gardner now with the ball. He takes it up to the 30. He's still going. Got a bit more room. Gardner now with an opportunity. And Gardner is going to take this one all the way to the house. A huge play from Hinds. There's no flags on the field. And Gardner, it's been coming all night long. We've talked about that unit. And Hinds make him pay and push this back to a 2-score game.
Fans, you're watching the replay, and I'm asking, why on earth is Southwest still kicking the ball? This has happened every time Hinds has had an opportunity to return, and And there, DeMar Gardner turns on the jets, hits the hole, and a few miscues in pursuit from Southwest. And this special teams unit, which has dominated the game tonight, finds the end zone, and you've got a completely different ball game on your hands. What was once on the verge of a blowout is now only a 2-score game as time winds down in the first half.
Tanner Hollingsworth steps up, and that is going to decrease the deficit to just 10 points, or excuse me, to just 13 points. And so Hinds have given themselves some life. And so we're looking at that replay again, and just a phenomenal job from Gardner. Starts on the left side of the field, cuts back to the right, and he's still got a lot of work to do to beat his defenders, and is able to just use that speed he has, and just such an effective runner.
One thing I want to point out for those of you who are watching, it's you see there the Southwest coverage team is moving to what would be the distant side of the field in unison, and no one's covering the cutback. Hinds actually had an extra blocker who had no one to block because the hole for DeMar was so big there. And after that, it was just a matter of him being faster and in a better position than the rest of the coverage team. And of course, Hinds has played tremendously, but that was ultimately a snafu in coverage by Southwest, which makes it a close game.
So now the kick by Hollingsworth is grabbed at about the 35 and taken up to the 45. That's where Southwest will start their next possession of offense. And now you're looking at an important defensive play for Hinds, because if you force 3 and out or you force a short stint offensively, you're putting the ball back in the hands of Watson and potentially maybe bringing this down to a 1-score game before the half.
100%, Charlie. Earlier, you mentioned the possibility of getting a stop and a score, and that's exactly what you want here if you're Hinds. Getting a stop and then scoring. There's still plenty of time to play here in the first half. Hinds still has a timeout.
And so Goss goes to the screen pass with Hunter, and he's hit and taken out of bounds after about a 4-yard gain up at the 50. And there's a flag on the field. Let's see what this is for.
I think it's going to be holding on Southwest. You saw number 9, TJ Johnson, I believe it was. It might have been, no, it was, I think it might have been 80, Jordan Scott. Yeah, it was number 80, Jordan Scott. He had a lot of jersey, which enabled the gain by Hunter.
And they get unsportsmanlike on a Hinds. So I guess the refs just missed what you were talking about there, and they get an unsportsmanlike call after the play. And so a 15-yard penalty. Hinds had improved the flag ratio by quite a bit, but they get unlucky there. They just need to be a bit more disciplined than that.
Poor break for Hinds. Now is not the time to be parading and showboating. Now is the time to be focusing on getting a stop.
So Goss goes back to the outside with that screen pass, and did he go down there? He's eventually downed after about a yard more. Didn't see whether or not Blanton had a knee down there when he was hit originally, but nonetheless, it'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Bears.
Even despite the missed tackles there, Hinds' defense does a tremendous job swarming to the receiver on the screen.
And so we come to the 2-minute warning. We're going to take a short break, and Hinds football will continue in just a moment.
And Doc's Gourmet Seasoning. Visit the Hinds Meat Market in Porter Hall on the Raymond campus of Hinds Community College, or give us a call at 601-857-3721.
I think the biggest reason that I would choose Hinds would be the relationships that you have with your peers. For baseball guys, we stay in the dorm. All of us are together on the 2nd floor. So kind of having that camaraderie really brings us together. most days we're spending 3, 4, and then when we play games, we're spending 6, 7, 8 hours together. The close friendships that you make, I think has definitely made an impact on me, and yeah, I'm very thankful.
Do the Ravens have it this year?
Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? Tell hard.
Oh, you know we got it. Yep. That's right.
Oh, you know we got it. That's all. Oh, you know we got it. That's right. Y'all ready? Oh, you know we got it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us. Cause
to the 2-minute warning here at Southwest, and the Eagles marching down the field after a penalty on HINDS after the play. And so now bringing up 3rd and 6 after a nice defensive play there.
Here's where clock management and field position management come into play. Southwest has the ball in prime go-for-it territory, but you've got a big lead, and HINDS only has 1 timeout, so we'll see what they decide to do here.
Goss drops back to pass. He's immediately under pressure. Has to almost throw it away, but his targeted receiver was open just out of bounds. It was not sure what number that is. It looks like Jeffrey Polk Jr. Oh, no, that's number 9. So that's TJ Johnson, who caught the ball just out of bounds, and now 4th and 6, and as you said, Sid, certainly in a position where they are going to go for this. So Goss in the shotgun, lines up with 3 to his right and 1 to his left.
The problem for Southwest is that they threw the ball, so if they don't get it, HINDS has plenty of time.
So here we go. Goss goes, and that is caught over the middle on the drag route, and that will be a first down for Southwest.
But there's laundry.
Break. Oh, there is laundry on the field. So let's see what the call is here. And the players are moving back. And so it is.
It's holding.
Appears to be a holding on the offense. So a nice break there for HINDS, and that will take them off the field.
And this is where what I was getting to earlier comes into play. The decision to throw the ball instead of run the ball on 3rd down in what seemed to be a pretty obvious running situation results in either A, not forcing HINDS to take their last time out, or B, taking 30 seconds off the clock. And now HINDS is going to have over a minute to have a drive to try to score. On top of this return unit now has a chance to make some magic of their own, as that punt was also tipped.
So Kai Baddock almost has his punt blocked, and the Bears almost stop it before it goes into the back of the end zone. But nonetheless, the HINDS offensive unit going to get an opportunity with about a minute left to play in the half to try and march up the field and see if they can put 3 more points on the board, or potentially a touchdown. It's a tall task with only 1 timeout left to use, but Watson has looked good tonight. Let's see what he can do. It's going to be Donahue in the game, so we've put Nasir Donahue comes into the game for this last drive, and let's see what they do here. It's handed off and immediately hit in the backfield. That's a nice play from the Bears front 7.
You wonder if that decision to put Donahue in the game was maybe to protect Watson. I'm surprised that the conservative approach is what you're going to see out of HINDS here, as there is a timeout on the field. I presume that, no, it's Southwest calling their first timeout. Not sure why. If I'm Kelly Murphy, I'm looking to reach deep into my bag here and try to pull out a trick play and see if you can't hit a big play and put 6 on the board, make this a 1-score game going into the half.
Certainly the time to take a shot downfield with only 54 seconds left to play in the half. You're down by 13. You really would like to get at least another 3 on the board to give yourself some more momentum coming into the half. But the DeMar Gardner touchdown return has given this Hinds unit some new life, as Donahue will remain in the game in the shotgun. And he fakes a handoff, finds his receiver outside, and he's got a bit of room, and that is going to be enough for a first down. It's a 15-yard gain from Trey Henderson.
And that duo of Trey Henderson and DeMar Gardner, they're both wide receivers on this offense. With all the magic they've made in special teams today on the returns, it makes a lot of sense to try to get them the ball in these screen looks, give them some open field to work some magic, as Hinds picks up about 15 yards on that play.
So Donahue drops back again, looks over the top. He's got a run and is able to get out and throw that one away. Nice awareness there from Donahue.
Well, as you see, once again, Southwest able to get pressure. A good job by Donahue, not just to scramble when he's flushed out of the pocket like that, but instead of trying to run, he just throws it away, because not only do you avoid taking the sack, you avoid either a lot of time falling off the clock or being forced to burn your last time out. Now there's still an opportunity for Hinds to score. They've still got 41 seconds and a timeout.
So Donahue, not being rushed here, looks to his sideline for instruction. They're back in the shotgun. Bradley back there with him. They fake the handoff to him. They end up going wide to Henderson. That ball's picked off, and it just hits the fingers of Henderson and eventually ends up in the hands of Vinay Singh. And that is a tough break for Hinds.
Really bad break there. Tip drill interception. A high snap to Donahue. He gets the ball out. Trey Henderson, it bounces off his hands, and this is just a really, really, really unfortunate break. There's one thing to be said in this situation. It's that this Hinds defense has had about as much success as you can ask for, as once again, following a turnover, Southwest has got the ball on the Hinds 35.
So Southwest with the ball and 2 timeouts to play with. And they're going to go to the air here. They go down the middle, and that one is incomplete. He was looking for T.J. Johnson downfield. That was well covered by the Hinds secondary.
Corey Vampel once again doing a great job in coverage. He's not able to get his hand turned, but it doesn't matter because he's staying so close to his man. He's able to prevent any sort of success in the passing game. And once again, another great defensive play by this Hinds secondary.
So Goss gets the ball back again. He looks back to the air, same sort of play, and that one is a great throw and a great catch as they go right back at Vampel, and TJ Johnson comes up the victor on that play. So that will extend the lead, and that is a tough break for Hinds.
Agreed. Vampel once again glued to his guy. It wasn't a tremendous pass to TJ Johnson, but it just happened to wind up in the breadbasket in the exact place that Johnson's hands were, and Vampel's hands weren't. Obviously, Vampel didn't turn his head, but ultimately it was still really good coverage, very little separation. But once again, Southwest lucks into a big splash play in the passing game.
So that'll extend the lead to 20 for the Bears, and just a tough string of events for Hinds. They have Henderson. It just bounces out of his hands for the interception, and then a nice throw from Goss to Johnson put another 7 on the board, and now Hinds finds themselves in a bit more of a predicament. We talked about how effective this air raid attack for the Bears was in the pregame, and they figured it out on their last few possessions. However, Hinds has shown flashes throughout this game, certainly not over yet, as they'll have a chance to maybe get a few more on the board here, and certainly an opportunity to get back into this one in the second half.
Well, we've seen that anything can happen on returns. Let's see if Southwest has learned their lesson or not.
And so they go back to the air, and they're going to kick this one straight out of bounds. And as you said, Sid, not messing around with any sort of an attempted return here.
Nope, that's the second time they've kicked it out of bounds. Probably should have been the third time. You wonder if Hinds will make Southwest kick it again here.
Yeah, and I think that's the conversation that's going on the field right now.
And this is big because if Southwest kicks the ball out of bounds again, it's an unsportsmanlike conduct. So they've got to kick the ball from the 30 here, and they have to give Hinds a chance to return it, which is huge because of the success Hinds has had in the special teams. They either have a chance to A, put points on the board, or B, hit a big return and give this offense a chance to put points on the board themselves, despite there only being 24 seconds left to play in the first half.
So, yep, you're absolutely right. This is a pretty big play, as the ball is going to have to be kicked at the 30-yard line. And the Bears do need to give Hinds the opportunity to return this. So Henderson and Gardner, the two back there to make the play, and they go up. This one's going to be short, and it is out of bounds again.
Flags fly again.
The unsportsmanlike conduct call should come here.
I believe that's how it works. I could be wrong, though. I know that there are a lot of situations where if you repeat penalties in this situation, the foul is even harsher. I'm surprised Southwest hasn't just been pooching it to someone a little further up in coverage every time they've kicked, because Hinds wisely declines, and they are going to be insistent on Southwest kicking the ball off. It's not 15 yards, it's only 5 yards, but at this point you're kicking off from the 25, which you don't have that at any level.
And so it looked like they were trying maybe that pooch kick to William Harry, but the ball just goes out of bounds before it gets to him. And so let's see what the decision on the kick is here, as they are back at the 25-yard line.
Well, a failure to do what seems to be pretty obvious
and so
is going to give Hinds great field position.
Hinds collects it off a little squib kick and are down at the 50. So nice starting position here with 18 seconds left. Reminder that Hinds do still have a timeout to use, and they're on the 50. They are one big play away from potentially putting 3 points or maybe even 6 on the board. But it will take, as you said earlier, Sid, fairly good execution.
And that timeout is huge because instead of it being 3 plays, realistically, now you've got 4. That timeout is basically an extra play for Hinds if someone's brought down in bounds. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Larry Williams utilizes this as they try to find some points on limited time.
Donahue remains in the game, has to scramble out to his right, evades one tackle, and is under pressure again, is forced to throw it away. And Donahue does a nice job there, not taking the sack and not allowing too much time to fall off the clock.
Very, very impressed by Donahue's escapability and his elusiveness there. What should have been a sack that would have been a real momentum killer for Hinds has instead turned into a net neutral, and you've still got a chance on this drive to do something.
So Donahue comes out the game, and Jabari Watson comes back in. And let's see what the decision is here. Maybe going to try and air this out. And I think we've got a timeout being called.
Hinds has burned their last timeout.
And Hinds' offense couldn't quite figure it out, and so the timeout's being used. And so Hinds find themselves in a bit of a situation with 9 seconds left to go in the half, down by 20 points, but still have the ball at the 50. And it could be one big play away from 6 more points on the board, but it's going to take a pretty impressive feat to do so.
Well, if I'm offensive coordinator Kelly Murphy here, I'm looking to get the ball in the hands of my two big playmakers, Trey Henderson and DeMar Gardner, really any way I can, as I would say that's Hinds' best bet to generate some offense here at the end of the half. Is their speed has been a big weapon for Hinds so far.
So Watson takes it back, trying to give his receivers time to get up the field, evade some tackles. There's another one coming, and he can't evade all of them as he's chased down for no gain, and that'll end the half. A score of 34-14 in favor of the Bears. So Hinds find themselves in a hole, but we'll be right back with some halftime stats for you in just a few minutes.
When I got hurt, our first call was Dr. Burrow with sports medicine. I was like, Dr. Burrow, I need you to help me get back on the field as fast as possible. And he did that.
7 years ago, my sophomore year of high school, I tore my ACL and meniscus. That's something that I'll always appreciate, is just how much they helped us get back on the field and play the sport that we love.
The tailgate spaces at Joe Renfro Stadium are back again this year. Visit our website to learn more and reserve your space today.
Elite Physical Therapy wishes all the players a healthy and successful football championship season. Elite is proud to serve the local communities with multiple locations providing secure outpatient therapy and sports medicine services. Our centers specialize in post-op rehabilitation, manual therapy, concussion management, and orthopedics, providing patients convenient scheduling and access to care within 24 hours. If you suffer from an injury, visit myelitept.com to find a center near you. That's myelitept.com. Elite Physical Therapy, proud to serve the state of Mississippi.
For more than 40 years, the Hinds Meat Market has provided select, choice, and prime meats to our local community. Pick up some ribeye steaks hand-cut by students in our meat merchandising program, or Hiney Ho smoked sausage you can only find here. The market offers beef, pork, chicken, and catfish. We also carry sides, desserts, and Doc's Gourmet seasoning. Visit the Hinds Meat Market in Porter Hall on the Raymond campus of Hinds Community College, or give us a call at 601-857-3721.
I think the biggest reason that I would choose Hinds would be the relationships that you have with your peers. For baseball guys, we stay in the dorm. All of us are together on the second floor, so kind of having that camaraderie really brings us together. Most days we're spending 3, 4, and then when we play games, we're spending 6, 7, 8 hours together. The close friendships that you make, I think it's definitely made an impact on me, and I'm very thankful.
Do the Ravens have it this year?
Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? How hard?
Oh, you know we got it. Yup. That's right.
Oh, you know we got it. That's all. Oh, you know we got it. That's right. Y'all ready? Oh, you know we got it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us, 'cause
And we are back at John I. Hurst Stadium on the campus of Southwest Mississippi Community College, where it has been all Bears. At halftime, the score is Southwest 34, Hinds 14. For the scoring summary, at the 8:16 mark of the first quarter, the Bears got on the ball first with a Chris Hunter 21-yard touchdown run, and they capped a 5-play, 58-yard drive that took 2:09 off the game clock. The PAT by Lindell Boatman was good. Southwest led 7-0. Then at the 2:35 mark, the Bears added 3 with a Boatman 23-yard field goal, and it capped a 8-play, 41-yard drive that took 3:33 off the clock. Southwest extended the lead to 10-7. Then Hinds got on the board first at the 1:48 mark of the first quarter. Jabari Watson threw a 68-yard touchdown pass to DeMar Gardner, and it kept a 2-play 65-yard drive that took 47 seconds. The PAT by Tanner Hollingsworth was good. Hinds cut the Southwest lead down to 10-7. And then at the 12:30 mark, Quez Goss scored on a 1-yard touchdown run for the Bears, and it kept a 10-play 53-yard drive that took 4:18 off the game clock. Boatman's PAT was good, and Southwest led 17-7. And at the 5:11 mark, it was Goss throwing a touchdown pass, a 2-yard touchdown pass to Marcellus Jackson, and it kept a 7-play 80-yard drive that took 2:51 off the game clock. Bowman's PAT was good, and Southwest extended the lead to 24-7. And then at the 3-minute mark of the second quarter, Boatman added 3 more with a 31-yard field goal, and it kept a 5-play 20-yard drive that took 1:13 off the game clock. Southwest extended the lead to 27-7. Then at the 2:42 mark of the second quarter, Hinds scored its other touchdown with the 95-yard DeMar Gardner kickoff return. The PAT by Hollingsworth was good, and Hinds cut the lead down to 27-14. Then with 24 seconds left, Goss for the Bears threw his second touchdown pass of the evening, a 34-yard touchdown pass to TJ Johnson. Bowman's PAT was good, and that's where we stand at the half. Southwest 34, Hinds 14. First downs, the Bears have 15, the Eagles have 4. Total rushes, the Bears had 21 carries for 35 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Eagles have only 16 carries for 5 yards. Through the air, the Bears were 16 of 24 for 200 yards with 2 touchdowns. The Eagles were 3 of 14 for 89 yards with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Total offense, the Bears ran 45 plays for 275 yards. The Eagles ran only 30 plays for 94 yards. The Bears punted the ball 3 times for an average of 31 yards a punt. The Eagles punted 4 times for an average of 38 yards a punt. The Eagles had 1 fumble and lost it. The Bears were flagged 8 times for 65 yards. The Eagles were flagged almost similarly with 7 penalties for 66 yards. Looking at the individual stats for the Eagles. On the ground, Nick Thompson had 3 carries for 12 yards. Jamarian Johnson, 4 carries for 12 yards. Julius Bradley, 2 carries for 2 yards. And Jabari Watson had 7 carries for minus 21 yards. 16 carries, 5 yards for the Eagles. And for the Bears, Chris Hunter has been the main ball carrier for Southwest. He has 13 carries for 65 yards and 1 touchdown. Quez Goss had 6 carries for 6 yards and a touchdown. And Fred Wells had 2 carries for 4 yards. 21 carries, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the Bears. Through the air for the Eagles, Watson was 2 of 10 for 72 yards and 1 touchdown with 1 interception. And Nasir Donahue was 1 of 4 for 17 yards with 1 interception. For Quez Goss for Southwest has been 16 of 24 with 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Through the receiving department, DeMar Gardner had 1 catch for 68 yards and 1 touchdown. Trey Henderson 1 catch for 17, and Robert Perry 1 catch for 4. For the Bears, Marcellus Jackson led all Bear receivers with 5 catches for 68 yards with 1 touchdown. DeMarco Blanton, the other receiver of that fearsome Bear duo, had 6 catches for 46 yards. TJ Johnson has 2 catches for 64 yards and 1 touchdown. Jordan Scott 1 catch for 14, and Chris Hunter had 2 catches for 8. Vijay Singh had both interceptions for the Bears for 6 yards. R.J. Hall had 1 sack for the Eagles, and Jalen Price and Torrey Morgan each had 1 sack for the Bears. Hall leads the way for the Eagles with 4 solo and 1 assist. Tommy Kelly 4 solo, and K.R.S. Gilliam had 3 solo and 1 assist. For the Bears, Vijay Singh had 3 solo and 1 assist. Torrey Morgan 2 solo, 2 assists. Jalen Price 2 solo and 1 assist. And those are pretty much the stats for the first half. And as for some of the other scores from around the league for week 7 of the MACCC 2024 football season, Gulf Coast won. These are all Thursday night games. Gulf Coast won over Colin 27-20. Northwest all over Delta 31-3. Holmes edged Itawamba 27-24, and Pearl River beat East Mississippi 32-28. And we had 2 other contests going on this afternoon rather. It was East Central and Jones. East Central was the winner in that one by the score of 27-7. That game was played at Ellisville. And the other game was Northeast winning over Coahoma by the score of 21-13. And those are the stats for the first half of tonight's ball game.
Thank you, as always, Stephen, for those halftime stats. We're going to take another extended break, and we'll be back with more Hinds Community College football action in just a few minutes.
When I got hurt, our first call was Dr. Burrow with sports medicine. I was like, Dr. Burrow, I need you to help me get back on the field as fast as possible. And he did that.
7 years ago, my sophomore year of high school, I tore my ACL and meniscus. That's something that I'll always appreciate, is just how much they helped us get back on the field and play the sport that we love.
The tailgate spaces at Joe Renfro Stadium are back again this year. Visit our website to learn more and reserve your space today.
Elite Physical Therapy wishes all the players a healthy and successful football championship season. Elite is proud to serve the local communities with multiple locations providing secure outpatient therapy and sports medicine services. Our centers specialize in post-op rehabilitation, manual therapy, concussion management, and orthopedics, providing patients convenient scheduling and access to care within 24 hours. If you suffer from an injury, visit myelitept.com to find a center near you. That's myelitept.com. Elite Physical Therapy, proud to serve the state of Mississippi.
For more than 40 years, the HINDS Meat Market has provided select, choice, and prime meats to our local community. Pick up some ribeye steaks hand-cut by students in our meat merchandising program, or Honey Ho smoke sausage you can only find here. The market offers beef, pork, chicken, and catfish. We also carry sides, desserts, and Doc's Gourmet seasoning. Visit the Hinds Meat Market in Porter Hall on the Raymond campus of Hinds Community College, or give us a call at 601-857-3721.
I think the biggest reason that I would choose Hinds would be the relationships that you have with your peers. For baseball guys, we stay in the dorm. All of us are together on the second floor, so kind of having that camaraderie really brings us together. Most days we're spending 3, 4, and then when we play games, we're spending 6, 7, 8 hours together. The close friendships that you make, I think has definitely made an impact on me, and I'm very thankful.
Do the Ravens have it this year?
Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? Yeah, hard.
Oh, you know we got it. Yup. That's right.
Oh, you know we got it. That's all. Oh, you know we got it. That's right. Y'all ready? Oh, you know we got it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us, 'cause
You to hop for no
It's not
reason.
going to work again, though. It's
It'll
going to
work.
the same problem.
It'll work. Watch your head.
He's going to hit his head.
Watch your head.
Whee! Whee! Whee!
The tailgate spaces at Joe Renfro Stadium are back again this year. Visit our website to learn more and reserve your space today.
Do the Ravens have it this year?
Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? Yeah, hard.
Oh, you know we got it. Yup. That's right.
That goal. That fight. Y'all ready?
Let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us. Cause
I think the biggest reason that I would choose HINDS would be the relationships that you have with your peers. For baseball guys, we stay in the dorm. All of us are together on the second floor. So kind of having that camaraderie really brings us together. Most days we're spending 3, 4, and then when we play games, we're spending 6, 7, 8 hours together. The close friendships that you make, I think has definitely made an impact on me. And I'm very thankful.
Do the Ravens have it this year?
Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? Yeah, hard.
Oh, you know we got it. Yup. That's right.
That goal. That fight. Y'all ready?
let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us. Cause
Mississippians love football, and our high schools throughout Mississippi stay connected with their students, parents, and community by live streaming events, including football through WSN Live. WSN Live provides your school with everything you need for professional and seamless live streams that are easy for students to run. And your fans can watch online from anywhere on any device. With WSN Live, your school gets the right gear, a rock-solid network, and game-time tech support. Learn more at WSNLive.com.
Do the Ravens have it this year?
Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? Yeah, hard.
Oh, you know we got it. Yup. That's right.
That goal. That fight. Y'all ready?
let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us. Cause
Told you to hop for no
It's not
reason.
going to work again, though. It's
It'll
got
work.
the same problem.
It'll work. Watch your head.
He's going to hit his head.
Watch your head.
Whee! Whee! Whee!
The tailgate spaces at Joe Renfro Stadium are back again this year. Visit our website to learn more and reserve your space today.
Do the Ravens have it this year?
Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? How hard?
Oh, you know we got it. Yup. That's right.
Oh, you know we got it. That dog. Oh, you know we got it. That fight. Y'all ready? Oh, you know we got it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us. Cause
I think the biggest reason that I would choose HINDS would be the relationships that you have with your peers. For baseball guys, we stay in the dorm. All of us are together on the second floor. So kind of having that camaraderie really brings us together. Most days we're spending 3, 4, and then when we play games, we're spending 6, 7, 8 hours together. The close friendships that you make, I think has definitely made an impact on me. And I'm very thankful.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the campus of Southwest Community College for the Southwest Community College Bears taking on your HINDS Community College Eagles. The Eagles find themselves currently in a deficit by a score of 34-14. We've seen the Eagles have a few bright spots tonight, but the air raid offense from the Bears has come out strong in the opening half. So, Sid, tell us a little bit, what did the Eagles do right in that first half, and what do they need to do in the second half to bring this one back?
Well, when you think about what HINDS has done well, there is one facet of the game that the Eagles have controlled and dominated this entire first half, and that was the special teams game. Half of their points have come off of kick returns, and number 0, Trey Henderson, and number 6, DeMar Gardner, have done a phenomenal job with returns. Again, Gardner had that big touchdown return, and even when they haven't been home run touchdowns, they've consistently put the ball ahead of the 30. They've given themselves great field position. And as far as the punt units go, they've had one punt that I think they got a piece of, another that they nearly did. The offense hasn't had terrible field position really at the start of any drive this game, which leads us to what HINDS needs to fix, and that is the offense. And ultimately, that starts up front with the offensive line. The dynamic duo of Nasir Donahue and Jabari Watson have been pressured every time they've stepped back to pass except once, and have been sacked nearly half of those times. Every time they drop back to pass and they're not running a quick developing screen route, they're flushed from the pocket. And they've either got to hope that they can make something happen with their legs or throw it away. Otherwise, they're taking a loss. And getting pushed back like that constantly, it kills any chance for sustained success. That's something we talked about before the game, is the need for HINDS to put together long, sustained drives to give this defense an opportunity to rest and limit Southwest's opportunities to put up points. And if they're going to correct the mistakes they made in the first half, it ultimately starts up front. You don't even need to get like a massive dominating push in the run game. You've just got to buy Jabari and Donahue some amount of time to make something, anything happen. Whether it's pass game, run game, anything. No matter what it is, everything starts up front for HINDS Community College. And then, of course, penalties.
And then absolutely the penalties also a huge factor. Thank you, Sid, for that. And we are going to take a quick break before we begin the second half of action. HINDS Community College football will continue in just a moment.
When I got hurt, our first call was Dr. Burrow with sports medicine. I was like, Dr. Burrow, I need you to help me get back on the field as fast as possible. And he did that.
7 years ago, my sophomore year of high school, I tore my ACL and meniscus. That's something that I'll always appreciate, is just how much they helped us get back on the field and play the sport that we love.
The tailgate spaces at Joe Renfro Stadium are back again this year. Visit our website to learn more and reserve your space today.
Elite Physical Therapy wishes all the players a healthy and successful football championship season. Elite is proud to serve the local communities with multiple locations providing secure outpatient therapy and sports medicine services. Our centers specialize in post-op rehabilitation, manual therapy, concussion management, and orthopedics, providing patients convenient scheduling and access to care within 24 hours. If you suffer from an injury, visit myelitept.com to find a center near you. That's myelitept.com. Elite Physical Therapy, proud to serve the state of Mississippi.
For more than 40 years, the HINDS Meat Market has provided select, choice, and prime meats to our local community. Pick up some ribeye steaks hand-cut by students in our meat merchandising program, or Hiney Ho smoke sausages you can only find here. The market offers beef, pork, chicken, and catfish. We also carry sides, desserts, and Doc's Gourmet seasoning. Visit the HINDS Meat Market in Porter Hall on the Raymond campus of Hinds Community College, or give us a call at 601-857-3721.
I think the biggest reason that I would choose HINDS would be the relationships that you have with your peers. For baseball guys, we stay in the dorm. All of us are together on the second floor, so kind of having that camaraderie really brings us together. Most days we're spending 3, 4, and then when we play games, we're spending 6, 7, 8 hours together. The close friendships that you make, I think it's definitely made an impact on me, and I'm very thankful.
Do the Ravens have it this year?
Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? Yeah, hard.
Oh, you know we got it. Yup. That's right.
Oh, you know we got it. That's all. Oh, you know we got it. That's right. Y'all ready? Oh, you know we got it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us, cause
Welcome back, everyone, to Southwest Community College as we continue our coverage from this MAC South game tonight between your Hinds Community College Eagles and the Southwest Community College Bears. We just talked a second ago about how the Eagles' troubles have come up front. Need to give Watson and Donahue a bit more time to allow things to develop. But when the minute ticks off the clock, it will be the Bears starting with the ball. So the Hinds defense going to be forced to come out here and make a play early on in the second half, put the ball back in the hands of your offense, and hope to make a play to cut this one to a 2-score game.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what Coach John Hendrick has drawn up coming out of the half in terms of defensive adjustments. There have been some defensive struggles as seen on the scoreboard, but this defense for Hinds has actually done a lot well. One thing that I noticed in this first half is when they were drawing up some exotic blitz schemes, utilizing the defensive backs and safeties and blitzes, they were getting home almost every time. You got to wonder if Coach Hendrick has noticed that and sees and thinks he can exploit that seeming hole in what has been a pretty solid Southwest attack so far this half.
And a large part in that coming in penalties, and those are things that can be fixed very quickly. Hinds giving up several yards in penalties in that first half, a couple of them costly with 15-yard personal fouls, and so it's going to be really important to get that under control quickly in this second half if you're going to give yourself a chance to get back into this one, as the Eagles have taken the field and the Bears are getting their kick return unit out to get set to field this one and start the second half of play. And Hinds, as we said, needing a big play from their defense if they hope to put the ball back in the hands of Watson to maybe cut this one to a 2-score game. But of course that starts up front, but the half starts defensively for the Eagles, and let's see what they've got drawn up here.
This is the time to get a turnover if there ever was.
So Hollingsworth set and kicks us off for the second half. He's been kicking it short, decides to go longer on that one as it's fielded about the 5-yard line, taken to about the 30. The Bears return man does a fairly nice job catching that one over his head and bringing it up to the 30-yard line. Eagles trying to throw him off early there.
You see the speed of DeMarco Blanton on that return. Still, nonetheless, pretty solid coverage as he doesn't make it out to the 30. Ultimately, another special teams win for Hinds. And as you said, Hinds needs a stop here, but despite the scoreboard deficit, this game is nowhere near over, especially if Hinds can answer the challenge quickly here in the second half.
So Goss starts off, handing the ball off to Hunter, who's hit in the backfield. And a great play there from Hinds to start the game, start the half. That was Jabari Booth on the hit. Great effort from him.
Chris Hunter goes down there in the backfield pretty quickly. He was hit hard and has to sub out for Fred Wells. And you want to talk about making a statement early on in the second half. That was the first play from scrimmage.
So 2nd and 14 for the Bears as Goss looks over to the sideline for instruction. Let's see what they go with here. They're going to go to the air. Not a lot of time. Finds his receiver over the middle. And that is going to go up to the 40-yard line. Should be good for a first down. So after an attempted handoff, they go back to the air. And the Bears strike again with a first down.
Yeah, edge rushing there, tremendous by Hinds. And you see the right tackle got himself a big old handful of jersey, but apparently the umpire didn't see it. What was a pretty blatant holding from up here.
So they go back to the ground after their last play ended in a first down. And they do it with Fred Wells. And that is to no avail, maybe a gain of 1.
We're seeing history repeat itself here in the second half. First series out of the gate in the first half, Hinds' run defense was tremendous. First series in second half, Hinds' run defense is tremendous again.
So Goss in the shotgun, puts a receiver in motion, looks to throw, not a lot of time, and almost sacked, and they've ruled him down, or they've ruled it an incomplete pass. But regardless, the Hinds front does a nice job putting pressure on Goss, forcing him to throw that one into the dirt.
100%. This one wasn't as clear. Maybe I'm just not seeing things right, but it looked like Anthony Dunn, he at the very least had his arms way extended. It looks like he may have had his hands improperly on the left end for Hinds again, but the refs didn't call it. So, again, I think this is probably a situation where I'm wrong, but still.
So the ball goes up. That's easily picked off, and Hinds now make a play defensively, and they're going to take this one back to about the 36-yard line, and that's just a misfire.
Well, we said we needed to see a turnover from Hinds, and there you go. What starts up front with a great pass rush by this defensive line that has played tremendous football in these first 2 minutes of the second half, forces the ball out of Goss's hands, and he makes a bad decision to not try to scramble or just get rid of the ball, instead throwing it directly to number 4, Walter Owens, who not only comes up with the interception, but also runs it back. And now Hinds has got the ball at the Southwest 35 off of a turnover.
So a great defensive stand there from Hinds, and Watson gets the ball back and hands it right off to Bradley. He goes up the gut and is taken down for a gain of about 3. And so we talked about the Hinds needing to put some pressure on the quarterback, and that's exactly what they do with that blitz play. And the quarterback panics, a misfire right into the hands of Walter Owens, gives the ball back to Watson. So here we go. 2nd and 7. Watson takes a shot downfield. That's fairly good coverage. And Hines wanted a flag, but
I don't blame him. That goes beyond physical defense. Number 24, Cameron Carter, has his hands clutching number 11, Tyrell Pollard. But the refs who have been, let's just say, letting them play all day, once again, do not throw a flag. But Hines has done a very good job responding to adversity in this second half.
So Pollard was the intended target. It goes down as an incomplete pass. Watson forced to drop back to pass again. He goes forward with his feet. He's an elusive quarterback. Gets hit after a gain. Ooh, did he fumble it? Did that ball come out, or was he ruled down?
They are saying that he's down.
So fortunate there from Watson. Ball comes out after he's ruled down. 4th and about 3, and I believe, Sid, this is go for it territory.
This is 100% go for it.
Or maybe not.
Territory.
Looks like Tanner Hollingsworth maybe bringing out the field goal unit, and I believe that's what they're going to do. I've watched him during the warm-up. I did see him nail quite a few from this distance, so he does have the leg for this.
It really isn't a matter of range or talent. It's a matter of the fact that you're down 20, and this only cuts it to 17.
And that is going to be no good. He missed it left, had the distance, but doesn't quite get there. So a conservative play call there from Hines backfires and gives the ball back to the Bears with no points on the board.
And, I mean, where you are and the way the scoreboard looks, Hines probably needed to consider going for it there, because it's still a 3-score game if you tack 3 points on the board. You get 6 or 7, and now you're talking a 2-score game. Instead, there's a lot of pressure on this defense to once again answer the challenge and stop Southwest on this drive.
So they go to Hunter on the carry, and he barrels forward for what I believe was a first down. Let's see where they mark him. And yep, they're going to give him the first down. So a pickup there from the Bears.
And that's a really good gain there by number 32, Chris Hunter. Obviously, he had the wind knocked out of him, but he's been a great bell cow back for Southwest tonight, as every time they've called his number, he's done a really good job of answering, and if you'll look, he's now been subbed out for Fred Wells, so we'll see how this changes things for Southwest.
So Goss gets the ball, hands off to Wells, who is almost goes down and is eventually corralled by a plethora of Hines defenders and almost evaded a few of those tackles there, but to no avail, as Hines will get him for a loss of about 4. A nice stand there from the Eagles.
And if you see there, Hines defense really trying to strip the ball. They're playing really hard for a turnover. I think they're kind of smelling blood in the water after that last series. And at this point, you have to be aggressive on offense and on defense, as you need points, a lot of points, and points quickly. And this Hines defense has done a great job of playing aggressively and forcing miscues. Even though they didn't get the turnover, it was still a loss of 4.
So Goss drops back to pass, finds his receiver over the middle, who's slammed down by Hines after a gain of about 4. That'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Once again, there was a receiver open there, but I really like what John Hendrick is doing. He's drawing up some really, really, really good defensive schemes, specifically in the pass rush. And it's been kind of a reversal from the first half where it was happening to Hines. Now it's happening to Southwest, where every snap, Hines is doing a good job of getting pressure on the quarterback. And now they've got Southwest backed up into a 3rd and long.
So 3rd and long for Southwest. Goss into the shotgun, drops back to pass. Does he have anyone open? And he does, and it's complete. But a real nice hit there from Damian Goss. And that'll bring up 4th and 6. So nice play there for Hines. Should bring that defense off the field.
And this time that was Tyrell Pollard. No, that was number 11, DeMarco Blanton on the catch for Southwest. And once again, that Hines secondary is in great position to make a play. Those are 2 really, really, really good defensive stands by this Hines defense. Now this offense has to go back on the field and make something happen.
And the punting unit does come out, almost blocked again from Hines.
I think he got a piece of it again.
And he may well have. Maybe not, but regardless, it ends up in fairly favorable territory for Hines. They'll start at their own 28-yard line, so Watson with a lot of room to work with as he gets set to start this next drive. And now your defense has given you an opportunity. It'd be a great opportunity to put more points on the board and cut this to a 2-score game.
100%. And if I'm offensive coordinator Kelly Murphy here, I'm going back to what works, and I'm looking to get the ball in the hands of Trey Henderson and DeMar Gardner because those guys have created the most.
Watson drops back. They want to take the shot, and they're looking for T.D. Vaughn, and that's when the pass interference call comes. He was working against Tadarius Ake, or I may be wrong, Zayd Tenner.
That was number 26 for Southwest, Corin Harris. Trey Henderson ran the route, and you see his speed there. He would have gotten separation, but Harris grabbing onto him like he's a child clinging to his mother, and he's gonna get flagged for that. Like, even in what has been a pretty physical game where defenders have been allowed to do a lot, you really, really can't turn a blind eye to that because it was so horrendously blatant. And now the Eagles move the ball forward 15 yards.
So a fairly easy call for the officials there as Watson goes back to the air and finds Pollard over the middle. And the Hines air attack starting to find a bit more of a rhythm over the last 2 plays.
And if I'm the Southwest defense right here, defensive coordinator, I can't go into a soft shell cocoon right now. They're getting very conservative with their blitz schemes, and now they're giving Hines a chance to move the ball down the field, and you don't have time to do that. In this situation, prevent defense prevents winning.
Watson trying to look up the field, gets that one off just enough for it to be considered an incomplete pass. Had to evade capture a few times there, and that will bring up 2nd and about 3 after the incompletion.
You see on that play, not Hines, Southwest sent 5, and they flushed Jabari Watson out of the pocket pretty quickly and were able to force a 3rd down.
And so that was 3rd and 3, excuse me, as Watson lines up with 2 receivers to either side. And let's see what the play call is here from the 50.
Showing blitz and press coverage, Southwest is.
They go to Bradley. Let's see. He doesn't have enough for the 1st down. And a gain of maybe 2. And you're on the 50, and your defense has played fairly well. Is there a consideration to go for it here?
I think so. Just because half of the 3rd quarter has already passed, you've got to put points up on the board and in a hurry, but I suppose Coach Larry Williams just really trusts his defense, as it appears Hines is just going to punt here.
So it looks as if you're right, Sid, and Hines will go ahead and punt. Tanner Hollingsworth comes onto the field. And so they are going to rely on the defense again. And that takes a nice Hines bounce and roll. Can they keep it out? And not quite. I don't think that Andrew Tate expected the Bears receptor to let that one go. And so just while trying to save it, ends up knocking it into the end zone. A tough break for Hines could have put them on the 1-yard line.
That's a very awkward bounce. No one expected the ball to take that direction. The return man, Marcellus Jackson for Southwest, had to get out of the way pretty quickly. He almost accidentally touched that ball, which could have been a disaster for Southwest, because obviously at that point, Hines has an opportunity to recover it and probably score, but now it's a moot point because ultimately it's a touchback. Southwest offense gets to go to work.
So Southwest with the ball in the hands of Goss. He has to scramble up the middle, get some time to the outside, and just throws it away. The Hines front 7 brought pressure there, and Goss certainly felt it and is able to throw that away, and we'll go again for 2nd and 10.
This defensive line has been practically living in the backfield this entire second half. They've done a really good job, but they haven't been able to really get any support in any other facet of the game, and it's kind of been fruitless efforts. You hope that they can get a stop and really turn this game around, as Southwest's defense has spent a considerable amount of time on the field in this second half. So if you're the Hinds defense, you want to get off the field quickly here in these next 2 plays.
And Goss gets the ball. They're going to hand it off to Hunter, who's met immediately but is able to bounce out of it before being tripped up by the Hinds defender. That was Jalen McCroy on the hit. Hunter evaded capture originally, and then McCroy meets him for a good hit. That'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Hunter's done a really good job running the ball. Here he's able to make a few guys miss, break a few tackles. Ultimately, I think it might have been for the worse as he gets hit pretty hard. But despite some injury concerns earlier in the game, he's going to stay in here on 3rd and 10 as Southwest is just going to try to drain as much time off the clock as possible.
Goss looks to go back to the air on 3rd and 10 and almost picked off by Hinds. But regardless, Preston Clendenin able to get his hand in there, and that'll force the punting unit to come back out for the Bears. So once again, the Eagles defense proving there's life on this Hinds side of the field.
Well, that might have been basically a game-saving play there by Clendenin, because Hinds brings 6 and Southwest picks up the pressure. They picked it up really well. Their quarterback had plenty of time to throw. Receiver appeared to be open, but a really, really good play by Clendenin to break up the pass. Nearly got himself a turnover, too.
So the Bears now come out to punt. It's a little low, and it's going to land at about the 50. And it's going to be taken by the Hinds return man and taken back to about the 48. That was Nehemiah Taylor on the attempted return. And that's where Watson and the offensive unit will start. They've got about 6 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. It's really got to be go time for the offense at this point.
Well, 100%. You need points, and you need points quickly. I understand wanting to just take the points and trust your defense earlier in the half, but at this point, you have to score. Because even though Hinds has played a much better ball game in the second half, it doesn't change the fact that they're down 20, and they have to do something about it here.
So Watson goes right to the air, a bit of room, and not quite, just slightly overthrown Gardner, and he can't quite get his hands to it to reel it in. That would have been a big play.
That looked like defensive holding there on Corin Harris, but once again, there is no flag. I like the approach that this Hinds offense is taking here. They're trying to get the ball in the hands of Henderson and Gardner, and they're trying to do it in ways that allow them to utilize their speed. I think if they just keep on pressing this, eventually this Southwest defense will crack. There's no need to get away from what they're doing, especially at a point in the game where you have to be aggressive.
They hand it off this time to Johnson. He tries to go up the middle, but is brought down after a gain of 2 to 3.
Dive looks have worked pretty well for Hinds. Getting to the outside has worked. Inside zone concepts have not been very fruitful for this offense. And at a point in the game where you've got to conserve time and get the ball down the field, very interesting to see. Maybe you're just trying to keep the defense honest there. But even then, the inside zone just has not been working for Hinds today.
So this time, Watson goes back to the air under a bit of pressure, gets the ball off, and that one's picked off. And just not far enough to the outside as the Bears bring it back. Got a few blockers going forward, and I think this one's going to end up being a pick six. And Gary Bailey takes the pick and goes back for the touchdown as the Bears increase the lead.
I believe they're saying that he stepped out of bounds. Very unfortunate for Hinds. There's a flag.
Well, this is an important call. Let's see what it is.
It's going to be a block in the back on the return. So it's still an interception, but the touchdown is negated.
So a fairly big play as it's going to be on the Bears, but that will take back the pick six. And put the Bears offense back on their own 45 as opposed to putting 6 more on the board.
Well, that's really a situation of just a bad break. Trey Henderson's open. Jabari Watson, his offensive line, they protect for him even in the face of pressure. And unfortunately, the pass just isn't exactly where you would want it. And some pretty good coverage by the Southwest secondary results in the pick.
Goss goes to the ground. There's flags on the field. And let's see what the call is here, but it was a pickup of about 3. And you've got to anticipate probably a holding call here.
Waiting for the call as the officials discuss.
And so
we're
it's
backing
signaled.
up. False start.
So a false start on the Bears. So we'll do first down again, but with a 5-yard penalty.
I think in that situation it might have been an illegal procedure just because they did allow the play to run. Usually on a false start they blow it dead.
So 1st and 15 for the Bears after the penalty. Gives Hines a break. And they'll go back to the ground. Nope. Fake handoff, and Goss tries to go at it himself and is wrapped up for a no gain.
In that situation, you see Tavares Henshaw looking to his quarterback in a position to receive a pass that looked like a triple option RPO concept. Goss decides to keep it himself. A really good job by this Hines defense to bring him down for a loss.
So 2nd and 16, Goss looks to go back to the air and is hit and rolls out of it. Can't believe he got out of that one. Goss still going and is about up to the line where he started, maybe a 1-yard gain, and I've got to say that is fairly impressive from Goss. I thought he was for sure going down, but the Hines defense still able to only allow a 1-yard gain there.
Yeah, great escapability there. TJ Grant wound up hitting him, knocking him out of bounds, knocking the ball loose for a fumble too close to the end zone for it to matter. But once again, a really good job by this defensive line to create pressure. And frankly, from up here, I have no idea how Quez Goss manages to get away from that pressure. But he does, but I think it might have been a net loss for him, because he got hit hard, fumbled, and it's still 3rd and a mile, sack or no sack.
So Hines have an opportunity to get off the field. There's a flag down.
False start. No delay of game.
And so it's a delay of game penalty on the Bears, and so that'll make this 3rd and almost impossible.
Yeah, at this point, you got to look for this defense to be in just a cover 4 quarter set. You want to keep everything in front of you, maybe even consider only rushing 3, because it really doesn't matter how much time Quez Goss has to throw here if he's got no one to throw to. So look for this defense to be pretty conservative, even though they're showing pressure.
And they go outside with a screen pass, and Hines able to wrap him up after about a 10-yard gain. That's no issues for Hines, as it'll bring up 4th and about 11. And so they'll go ahead and get the offense back on the field.
And now the circumstances in this game have circled right back around to where they were about 4 minutes ago. Hines defense forces a stop, praying that this offense can get something going. At this point, this is still a winnable game for Hines Community College, but they've got to get something started. They've got to get the ball rolling, because eventually time will run out.
So the ball is up and punted away. It takes a Bears roll to the 30-yard line, the 20-yard line, and that's where Hines will be forced to start with about 2:45 left to play in the 3rd quarter. So Hines, now you really need to go get some points. We've said that a few times in this quarter. Your defense has stepped up for you. They're playing an exceptional game over there. Jabari Watson needs to find a way to get his offensive unit up the field.
Every single possession increases in importance as time ticks down. There's no better time here for now Nasir Donahue in at quarterback for Hinds to either put up or shut up.
So Nasir Donahue coming in, they could be maybe trying to use the leg speed, but they're actually going to go to the air. And that is a great throw, and he's got it. DeMar Gardner comes up with the catch. Great throw from Donahue, caught by Gardner, and a huge gain for Hinds puts them on enemy territory.
And that's a great play by DeMar Gardner. He already had the kickoff return for a touchdown, so we know the kind of speed he's got. And there he's able to use it. Nasir Donahue is able to find him. If he had found him in stride, that would have been a touchdown because there was no one back to stop him.
So Donahue this time hands the ball off to Nick Thompson, and he's wrapped up after a gain of about 4. So now the Hinds offense starting to roll a little smoother. This is a huge opportunity.
I think here it's time for Hinds to keep their foot on the gas. You already gashed this defense. I think you've got to keep relying on your playmakers in this circumstance.
And a misfire there. There's a flag on the field.
That's going to be a false start on the center for the snap.
And Hinds get called for a false start. That's what we believe the call is. And that's what it's going to be.
Better to be moved back 5 than be moved back 25. This is a huge break for the Hinds offense here because that ball had been snapped. It's a 25-yard loss. Best case scenario.
And so Cameron Williams was the one that fired the snap a little early. And as you said, Sid, luckily Hinds able to only lose 5 out of that play. Gives Donahue another opportunity to move the ball forward as they go back to the air. They go back long and just out of reach of Trey Henderson, who was wide open and just can't quite find him.
And, man, you hate to see that. I was looking at Henderson when the ball was snapped, and immediately there's a release, and I think there might have been a miscommunication on defense Southwest because Henderson's running the post, and in what was a zone coverage look, there is a gigantic hole in the middle of the field, which you usually don't see. Usually in zone, yes, the middle of the field can be exploited, but usually you've got 1 to 4 guys patrolling the middle there.
Donahue being forced to do it by himself here, trying to evade a sack, but eventually brought down just before the 50-yard line, and that one's too far for Hinds to have a chance to go for it, and so the punting unit needs to come back onto the field at about 4th and 17.
And of all the series that hurt, this one I'd say hurts the most. So many opportunities, and you're just not able to capitalize on it. It's really brutal for Hinds. You know, multiple plays that were either big plays, could have, should have gone for touchdowns. Now you've got a punt.
So Hollingsworth takes the punt, and not a bad one. Lands at about the 10-yard line. The Bears are going to give it an effort to return. He's got some room down the sideline. He's got some wheels on him, still going. And this is going to go all the way back for a touchdown. There's a flag down, however.
That's going to be either a holding or a block in the back around the 20. I believe Southwest is going to take over at the Hinds 35. This one's 100% coming back.
And yeah, you can just see on the celebration there, they know this one is coming back, so the either hold or block in the back is going to give Hinds a break and potentially move this one back to about the 35-yard line. And a tough go of it there for the Hinds kickoff
it's an illegal
defense.
Block in the back.
And we've got a block in the back, as you said, Sid, and this one's going to be taken at about the 27-yard line of Hinds.
Doesn't move him back quite as far as you would want, but a field goal only makes it a 23-point game, and, you know, when you factor in 2-point conversions, that's still a 3-score game. So keeping Southwest out of the end zone needs to be a priority for this Hinds defense.
So here we go. They go to the screen pass to the left, got a little bit of room, and is eventually taken down by Deverick Woods for a 1-yard loss.
I'm very impressed with the speed of this defensive line. That's Deverick Woods. He's not an edge rusher. He's a defensive tackle. And there he does a really, really good job of first recognizing the play call, the slip screen to the halfback, and then chasing him down from basically halfway across the field. The speed of this Hinds Community College defensive line has worked wonders for them tonight.
And so that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. Hinds down by 20, and we'll be right back with more Hinds Community College football in just a moment.
For more than 40 years, the Hinds Meat Market has provided select, choice, and prime meats to our local community. Pick up some ribeye steaks hand-cut by students in our meat merchandising program, or Hiney Ho smoke sausage you can only find here. The market offers beef, pork, chicken, and catfish. We also carry sides, desserts, and Doc's Gourmet Seasoning. Visit the Hinds Meat Market in Porter Hall on the Raymond campus of Hinds Community College, or give us a call at 601-857-3721.
Do the Ravens have it this year?
Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? How hard?
Oh, you know we got it. Yup. That's right.
Oh, you know we got it. Let's go. Oh, you know we got it. Let's fight. Y'all ready? Oh, you know we got it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us, cause
And we return to the fourth quarter of action with a Bears run attempt for a pickup of about 3. That'll bring up 3rd and 6, or 3rd and 7. And Hinds with another opportunity to prevent a Bears score in a dangerous area.
The problem is Southwest doesn't necessarily mind being stopped, because at this point in the game, every snap where you don't go out of bounds or throw an incomplete pass takes 40 seconds off the clock. And if you're Hinds, time is money right now.
So Woods lines up right under the center and passes off to Hunter. And let's see where they mark him.
Refs are signaling 4th down for Southwest.
This could be a fairly big play for Hinds. And, yeah, they're going to spot him about 3 yards shy of the line to gain. And so
I love the aggression by Southwest. A field goal doesn't do you much good. And with where you are on the field, why not keep up the aggression, try to run more time off the clock, and or put this game away?
Yeah, so that clock will continue to roll. I'm sure we'll see them bring the play clock down as much as they can before snapping this ball. And there they go. So the handoff to Hunter. Is it enough?
I don't think so. No, he went backwards there. He went backwards.
And so let's see where they spot him. And
no, he went forwards, but it's nowhere near enough.
A gain of about 1, and that'll give Hinds the turnover on downs. Nice job there. That might have effectively put this one away, but the Hinds defense stands strong again. And let's see what quarterback Hinds opts to go with on this next possession.
Southwest's defense has had plenty of time standing out here this second half. You've got to think they're getting tired. Hinds doesn't really have a choice. You have to score this drive. You have to score this drive. If you're the offensive coordinator, you've got to push all your chips to the table. Unless it's like 4th and 15 plus, you've got to be thinking go for it basically anywhere on the field. Because this deficit, you have to start working into it.
So Donahue's going to be the quarterback of choice on this drive, and I'm expecting a primarily air raid attack as he tries to get downfield, is being forced to throw this one away as he was under pressure. And so that'll bring up, once again, 2nd and 10 at about the 16, 17-yard line.
What matters there is that Donahue doesn't take a sack. Time doesn't wind off the clock. And that's your number one priority. See, right now, you've got to save time. Donahue's got to save time here. So just being able to throw it away is a win. It saves 20, 15 seconds. Now you've got an opportunity to throw the ball again, and you don't have any more than 10 yards to go here.
So Donahue Drops back again. They're going to go a screen to the outside, and that is going to be incomplete as it bounces off the back of either one of his offensive linemen or a Bears defender. I couldn't quite tell.
I understand you're trying to set up maybe a 3rd and shorter there, but the time to throw those kinds of screens was in the first half when they really didn't. Right now, you've got to go north and south because even if you get 5 yards on that screenplay, you're still losing a good bit of time on the clock for, probably not a huge gain.
So 3rd and 10, let's see what they do. Donahue drops back to pass, has to evade pressure, goes wide, and a nice catch there from DeMar Gardner as he reels that one in at about the 33-yard line. Nice throw from Donahue there under pressure.
Man, how many times have you said his name? They call on him, and once again, DeMar Gardner answers and injects life back into this game for Hinds, and he also gets out of bounds. Hinds picks up a 1st down, and you've got to keep thinking, score. You've got to keep trying to push the ball forwards here.
And so, clock running, they hand the ball off to Bradley, and they get up the middle for a few yards. They have to go quick here as the clock isn't going to stop on the run play up the middle.
I get it. You're trying to keep the defense honest, but that ship sailed.
And so Donahue will get the ball back in his hands. They have to go quick here. You see Henderson getting put back in the game. I expect them to focus primarily on the air attack for the rest of this quarter.
I mean, you don't really have a choice because you don't have a lot of time and you do need a lot of points. So you've got to go up and down the field quickly.
Donahue has to evade pressure again, gets to his right, and he's going to go at it himself. There's a flag on the field as he throws it away. And I'm not sure what the call is going to be here. Did you see anything, Sid?
I didn't, which is why I'm suspecting holding. But we'll see what this officiating crew has to say. Let's see, they're pointing actually at Southwest. We'll see what they call here.
And I don't know if maybe someone was got for roughing the passer. Oh, no, they're pointing back at Hinds. So that ball is going to go backwards, and we're expecting probably a holding call.
It's only a 5-yard penalty.
And they've thrown another flag
No,
there?
he was just tossing it back.
He's just tossing it back?
Yeah, he's giving the umpire his flag back.
Good catch. And so I think that was a 10-yard penalty.
Yeah,
so
most
most
likely holding on Hinds. We didn't see it, but either way, it's now 2nd and 20.
And so you find yourself back at your own 20-yard line. And you've got to get to the 40. And Donahue, I'm sure, will be throwing this ball. Yep, they're going to drop back to pass, and they have to go deep here, and that's a little underthrown.
Wow.
He's got it. What a play from Tyrell Pollard. That is a huge completion, and I thought it was underthrown. The replay is going to be up, and Tyrell Pollard just got up and wanted that ball more.
You see him. There's 2 defenders. Tyrell Pollard climbs the ladder and mosses both defenders from Southwest whose coverage wasn't bad. And what appeared to be potentially an easy interception is instead a massive chunk play for Hinds. And now you're thinking score here.
And so they go right back to the air, and that is going to be enough for about a 5-yard gain. And he gets out of bounds as well. Jalen King, the clock is going to keep running, so ruled stopping forward motion before getting out of bounds. So 2nd and 5, clock still ticking.
Well, this Hinds offense, they've got some momentum now. You've got to look to capitalize on it. That's 2 completed passes for positive yardage in a row, and it's time to go forward and go fast.
So Donahue looks over the sideline for instruction and yelling out to his receivers. He's got 2 to either side. Bradley's in the backfield with him. They drop back to pass. Has to evade pressure. Can he get something off here? And Donahue's going to be ripped down at about the 47-yard line. That'll be a loss of about 8.
And that's not what you can't afford to have that at this time of the game. Losing, 6, 7, 8 yards off of a sack. Not only do you get pushed back, but now it's 3rd and long, and the clock keeps ticking, which is not your friend, as now there are less than 10 minutes left to play in this game, and you still need 3 scores.
So it's actually 3rd and 11, a bit better than what I thought it was going to be. As Donahue has to go to the air. It's a big play. He's wide open. Does he get there? He does. No! It was dropped by Pollard, and that is heartbreaking for Hinds. The ball was thrown in the breadbasket, and they just can't quite come up with it, as Pollard had the touchdown. And
what a throw by Donahue. That's heartbreaking. You can't send the punt unit out in this situation. You've got to score on this drive.
And so Hollingsworth going out there. I'm not entirely sure what the idea is here. This is essentially
dire
essentially
circumstances.
Throwing the game away here if you punt this one back.
You give the ball back to Southwest, they're taking 2 minutes off the clock.
And so they are going to punt this one away, and frustrating break as you rely on your defense, and it rolls into the end zone after hitting a Hinds player. And so you're giving the ball back to Southwest on the 20-yard line. I think that's to be fair, I think that's an overly conservative approach, but the defense now requires a big play.
It's just truly heartbreaking because you've.
So they're going to actually call this one dead where it hit Hinds. Let's see what they end up doing here.
Officials convene,
Oh, they are going to call it a touchback.
This is truly heartbreaking because seeing what's unfolded in the last, 10 or so minutes of this game, it could be 34-28 right now. With Hinds, having a legitimate chance to get out there and win this game. But I'm afraid barring a defensive touchdown or a very, very quick sequence of events and, more importantly, points, you're not going to be able to turn this game around, as this Hinds defense, I'm afraid, is starting to get fatigued.
So Southwest keep the ball on the ground to pick up the first down. And at this point, clock has become the factor as Hinds find themselves down by 20. And, the clock's just going to continue to run for Southwest.
They've got the ball spotted, and the ref signals clock's running again. Going to be under 9 minutes before they snap the ball.
Yeah, and they've got a whole 20 seconds of game clock here to work with. And so it just really, it has to be a 3-and-out or it has to be a turnover, but there's no way they're going to throw this ball. So it needs to be a quick 3-and-out, but it may be too little too late. And they hand the ball off. Hunter gets outside. He's got a lot of room to work with, trying to stay in bounds, and keeps going before stepping out at about the 28-yard line. And I think, as you said, Sid, the fatigue from the last few drives of this defense may just be starting to set in now.
100%. You see there, Chris Hunter, he gets ahead of steam, and every time he's gotten, ahead of steam, good things have happened, and there he's able to rip off a huge gain. And now, the Hinds defense has to buckle down here if we would like to see any chance of Hinds winning this game.
So they keep it going on the ground, and he's wrapped up after a gain of 3-4. They went back to Hunter, who's, when his number's been called, he's played very well tonight.
Yeah, obviously you had some injury concerns kind of in the late first half, but he's been out there every snap on this drive, and he's back to being a very steady, reliable back. Good for, 4 or 5 yards, and obviously a couple plays ago even more.
So Southwest taking as much time off the play clock as possible. They're down to about 5 seconds now. And Goss eventually snaps the ball. They go right back to Hunter. He cuts to beat one man and is taken forward for another 3-yard gain. That'll set up 3rd and 3
Well, a pivotal third down here. You would think that Southwest, they may still go for it, but if you can push them back, maybe you force them to think field goal. Really, what appears to be the last chance to claw your way back into this game if you're Hinds here.
And so, yeah, I would think if they're short with any forward progress, they're probably going for it. But let's see what Hinds can do. They got the ball off. They go to Hunter, who tries to bounce to the outside, and that's a good hit from Hinds. The clock's going to keep running, but Gavin drones on that hit, and 4th and 4.
Looks like Southwest is going to go for it here. Can't blame them. I feel like a conversion here ends any realistic hope of Hinds winning this football game. If you stop them and hit a splash play or two, you never know.
So 4th and 4. Big play could give some momentum back to Hinds as they hope to crawl back into this one. And obviously it all starts with your defense. They're going to hand the ball off to Hunter. He's had the hot hand, and it looks like he's got it, but there's a flag down. So let's wait the call of the official. We're looking like it might be a false start. So false start on Southwest, give Hinds a bit more breathing room. So that'll bring up a 5-yard penalty and force 4th and 9.
You got to wonder on 4th and 9 after the illegal procedure if it makes more sense for Southwest to maybe just kick a field goal and not risk giving Hinds, a reason to feel like they can win.
And so let's see there. I believe they're going to keep it in the hands of their quarterback and probably Hunter on the ground. They're actually going to go and throw this ball, trying to end the game right here. And that is incomplete to no avail. No flag on the play. And Hinds will take over at the 30-yard line with about 5.5 minutes to work.
Well, you have very little time, and you have to get 2 stops. You need to be in the end zone with 5 minutes left to play in this game if you're Hinds. You've got to go down the field, and you've got to go down the field quickly. On these recent drives, even in obvious passing situations, Trey Henderson and DeMar Gardner have gotten open. And the offensive line, although it hasn't been perfect, has been a little bit more reliable in the first half. So Hinds just has to pray for a miracle here, get down the field as quickly as possible, and then consider an onside kick to get the ball back.
So you never know. A couple big plays could put Hinds back into it, but Donahue lines up in the shotgun. That's who they're going to stay with at quarterback. And they look to go fast. He hits his receiver for about an 8-yard gain. The issue is the clock is going to continue to run as Jalen King was the man on the reception.
Yeah, you don't have time to be throwing curl routes here. You've got to hustle. That's going to be, a solid 15, 20 seconds off the clock in a situation where every second could determine a different outcome in this game.
Donahue back in the shotgun. 2 receivers to either side, drops back to pass, faces pressure, goes deep, and not a bad ball, just runs out of field. And so that'll end up as an incompletion. However, the positive is that does at least stop the clock to bring up 3rd and 4.
Hinds has kicked Southwest's butt on the fade every single time. Their receivers are making space. They've got more speed on the outside. The problem is in the first half, a lot of times, the O-line buckled, and now in the second half, whether it's, the pass being too far out of bounds, inaccurate, or dropped, a lot of bad luck. But
Donahue goes deep again, and he's got his man. That should be a Hinds touchdown. Never say never, as Tyrell Pollard ends up in the end zone off the huge completion from Nasir Donahue. That's a huge play, and you just mentioned it, Sid. The fade route's been there all day. The speed's been there all day. Bit of time, and Pollard ends up in the end zone. Hinds with an opportunity to cut this one to 13.
And that's a great way for Tyrell to redeem himself. Now you're in the end zone. and now you're thinking there's a chance to win. The real question here, you've got 3 timeouts. Do you still consider kicking deep rather than onside kicking in this situation, simply because your defense has been so reliable in this second half, as the extra point's no good?
So it's all right. Still a 14-point game, and just now, HINDS, if they were to score twice, don't have the opportunity to win, would be either going for the win or trying to force overtime. But regardless, this is a 2-score game. HINDS have given themselves some life, and as you said, Sid, now it's decision time. And based on some of the previous play calls, I would expect HINDS to kick this one deep.
I would agree, and I think that's the right decision in this case, just because your defense has played so well, and again, you do have 3 timeouts. So I would expect and agree with a deep kick. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've thought about spending your time this evening elsewhere, we request you stay with us for about 15 to 20 more minutes. Texas and Georgia aren't going anywhere. Alabama and Tennessee are already done. So we would appreciate your time, because we've got ourselves a ball game down here in Summit. HINDS, with all the momentum in the world, has played a great second half against a Southwest team that has been notorious for not being able to finish off their opponents in the second half all season.
And so, interesting call. It appears HINDS are going with the onside kick. And so, obviously, trusting the foot of Tanner Hollingsworth, they feel like there's not enough time maybe to get the 3 and out. So here we go. HINDS looking for an onside kick recovery. This could make it really interesting. Not a bad effort. Goes straight into the hands of the Bears, though, and they'll get the ball just past the 50. It ended up in the hands of Tavares Henshaw.
I mean, one angle that you do have to consider, and I think this is why the onside kick does make sense. I mean, if you kick it back and they get a stop, but all the time's off the clock, it doesn't really matter. So at this point, you've got nothing to lose, so why not just kick the onside? Because short field, long field, yards are time and time is money.
Good point there, Sid, as I think either decision probably would have been definitely defendable, especially if HINDS had come up with that one. It would have looked genius. So the defensive front has to go back onto the field, and they have looked good tonight. They do have 3 timeouts. There is certainly a possibility, and let's see what the defensive front can come up with.
I mean, right now you've just got to get off the field. You know they're going to run the ball 3 times. So it's time for this defensive line to go win this football game.
That's a good start, as the handoff to Fred Wells is to no avail, and HINDS gets him for a stop. It will bring up 2nd and 10. So no gain on the play. And they're going to allow this clock to run out, and I think HINDS will allow it to run out with them so that they have all 3 of their timeouts in case they get the ball back.
Right.
For when they're looking to get the stop down by only 7.
Right, well, exactly. You've got to score twice, so it doesn't matter. Call your timeouts now or later. You can just basically assume that 2 minutes are subtracted from the time. There's effectively...
So they go to the air, and they get him there. So 3rd and 11. That's a risky play call, in my opinion, going for the screen pass.
100%. If you have a drop, a forced incompletion, or because you're going to the outside, someone's forced out of bounds, the clock stops, and suddenly you have egg on your face. It's a pretty big risk, and there's really no reward involved as we have a stoppage of play here.
And so there's an injury timeout, I believe, for a stoppage of play. It was TJ Johnson.
HINDS called a timeout.
Oh, I apologize. So HINDS called a timeout, and we'll keep it right here. And TJ Johnson was the man on that reception. And you see there, like, as you said, Sid, that certainly could have been a backfire because Johnson has to corral that ball in. It wasn't particularly the best thrown ball. So regardless, the clock's going to stop. And had he been hit, that ball could have popped up, and it could have easily been intercepted by HINDS. So, bit of egg on the face there, as you said.
It's high risk, no reward. Obviously, it didn't blow up in their face, but they actually lost yardage because they threw it behind the line of scrimmage. Now you're in a situation where HINDS has called a timeout on the assumption that you're going to punt if you don't get it, and it's 3rd and 11, so
So Hines now, this is a big play. 3rd and 11. They're actually going to drop back to pass, and they got him for a sack. That's a huge play. Hines now call a timeout.
What on earth is the offensive coordinator doing there? Wow. I mean, it's gone from, well, maybe they can win to it could be a one-score game. Like 2 very, very questionable play calls. And now Hines has a chance to go score. They've got all the momentum in the world for this next drive with a receiving core that is a heck of a lot faster than this Southwest secondary. You can really feel the tide of this game swinging up here in the press box, as we actually do have a view of the coach's office from here. And you feel the momentum. You see it on the field. You feel it in the press box. You hear it from Charlie and I. This game has completely turned around, and that sack helps Hines, I think, more mental than it does physical.
And so the punt's up, and it's not a bad one. Takes a Bears roll to about the 18-yard line, and that's where Donahue will bring out his line. And so probably the 21, correct me if I'm wrong there, Sid.
17.
17, thank you. I appreciate it. So the 17-yard line is where Donahue will start this drive. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of shots downfield. As you mentioned, we've seen the speed from these receivers over the secondary, and there's nothing to lose.
Well, field position isn't the be-all, end-all, because if you hit Henderson, Gardner, Pollard in the breadbasket, as we've seen today, it doesn't really matter where you are on the field. It's going for 6. So you've just got to heave it deep.
So here we go. Drops back to pass, and they're going to look deep. Donahue has to go at it himself, needs to get out of bounds. It's a fumble, but rolls out of bounds. And the clock will continue to run. Donahue dropping that ball. Oh, nope, there it is. Stops at 3:18. Now they're starting to run it.
They're signaling it to run it. I guess they were going to run it after they got it spotted. I'm surprised because I guess it was a fumble. A good scramble by Donahue. You would have liked it if he could have held onto the ball and got out of bounds, but it's fine as it is.
So Donahue now has to drop back to go deep, and they're actually going to find Gardner over the middle. That's a tough play call just because the clock is such a factor at this point in the game. They have to go quickly, and you really need to be scoring before the 2-minute warning.
100%. You can't just be running drag routes across the middle of the field right now. You've either got to be deep or outside. You've got to put it in a position where either the yards you gain are worth the time lost or you don't lose a lot of time.
And especially at this point now, Donahue has to look over to the sideline for instruction as the clock continues to wind down. They've used up almost all of this play clock. And so now Donahue has to go and do it himself. He's
sacked
forward. Is that enough? Nope, not enough. So it's going to bring up 4th and 1, and that's not going to stop the clock either. And so this is a very frustrating turn of events for the Hinds offense as they're going to take this one to the 2-minute warning. We're going to take a short break with Hinds here, and we'll be right back with more Hinds Community College football in just a moment.
Told you to hop for no
It's not
reason.
going to work again, though. It's
It'll
been
work.
the same problem.
It'll work. Watch your head.
He's going to hit his head.
Watch your head.
Whee! Whee! Whee!
And we're back here, Hinds with a crucial 4th and 1 play with 2 minutes left to go. They're down by 14. This game is not necessarily over, but if you're going to score, it has to happen now. And so Donahue has to go at it himself, doesn't have much room, is able to work it up himself. Nice job there from Donahue to save that one and get out of bounds. So about 8 seconds off the clock, but that will get them the first down.
Wow, that's some brilliant magic there by number 5, Nasir Donahue. He rolls out to one side, has to turn around, change direction, put his foot in the ground. He gets the first down and gets out of bounds on the other side than where he was rolling out to. And he makes something out of nothing on a concept that has done absolutely nothing for Hinds tonight.
So Donahue now has to drop back to pass again. They need to go long here. Donahue doesn't have enough time to do much, has to roll to his right, gets the room. Is he going to throw it? Goes at it himself and is hit and didn't get out of bounds. That's the unfortunate thing for Hinds as they have to go quick here. And the clock continues to wind down. You need to get another playoff here immediately.
You should have considered spiking the ball here because I think that last time out is too valuable. But you've got to get the ball snapped in a hurry. They've wasted 25 seconds here.
So Donahue now does get the ball off. They're going to go with the shot that's thrown for an easy pick. And that should end this ball game. Picked off by Vinay Singh. I believe that's his second pick of the night. And just a bit of miscommunication, overthrow there from Donahue. And an unfortunate way to end the night if you're a Eagles fan.
Well, it's a frustrating way to lose because ultimately you saw so many glimpses. You know that the game could be 35-34 right now, Hinds, but instead they're going to lose 34-20 as that timeout does little good as this game is mathematically over on a kneel.
And that's a real shame. Hinds played much better here in the second half. Couple big plays go another way, and you could easily see Hinds walking out of here with a comeback victory, and not the way the tide turned today, as the game will end. Hinds will fall to 1-6. Southwest will pick up their first win of the season and move to 1-6 as well.
If there's a silver lining here, you've got a lot that you can look at as examples of positives to coach on.
And a lot of that comes from the first half penalties, the lack of protection for Watson in the first half. All of those issues were corrected in the second half, and your defense played exceptional. And you really are just a few big plays away from walking out of here with a victory. But as you said, Sid, a lot for Hinds to build on here as they go into next week about what's going to be a tough game against Pearl River at home. And those are things you're going to need to drill down in practice.
The only thing you can hope for Hinds is that coming into homecoming, they can take this momentum that they built, both defensively and offensively, and run with it. See if they can head back to Raymond and get a win against Pearl River at home.
And so that is going to end the ball game 34-20. The Eagles fall. We're going to take a short break, and Steven will be back with you in just a moment for the end of game stats. Thank you.
When I got hurt, our first call was Dr. Burrow with sports medicine. I was like, Dr. Burrow, I need you to help me get back on the field as fast as possible. And he did that.
7 years ago, my sophomore year of high school, I tore my ACL and meniscus. That's something that I'll always appreciate, is just how much they helped us get back on the field and play the sport that we love.
The tailgate spaces at Joe Renfro Stadium are back again this year. Visit our website to learn more and reserve your space today.
Elite Physical Therapy wishes all the players a healthy and successful football championship season. Elite is proud to serve the local communities with multiple locations providing secure outpatient therapy and sports medicine services. Our centers specialize in post-op rehabilitation, manual therapy, concussion management, and orthopedics, providing patients convenient scheduling and access to care within 24 hours. If you suffer from an injury, visit myelitept.com to find a center near you. That's myelitept.com. Elite Physical Therapy, proud to serve the state of Mississippi.
For more than 40 years, the HINDS Meat Market has provided select, choice, and prime meats to our local community. Pick up some ribeye steaks hand-cut by students in our meat merchandising program, or Honey Ho smoked sausage you can only find here. The market offers beef, pork, chicken, and catfish. We also carry sides, desserts, and Doc's Gourmet seasoning. Visit the HINDS Meat Market in Porter Hall on the Raymond campus of HINDS Community College, or give us a call at 601-857-3721.
I think the biggest reason that I would choose HINDS would be the relationships that you have with your peers. For baseball guys, we stay in the dorm. All of us are together on the second floor, so kind of having that camaraderie really brings us together. Most days we're spending 3, 4, and then when we play games, we're spending 6, 7, 8 hours together. The close friendships that you make, I think, has definitely made an impact on me, and I'm very thankful.
Do the Ravens have it this year?
Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? Yeah, hard.
Oh, you know we got it. Yup. That's right.
That goal. That fight. Y'all ready?
Let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us. 'Cause
And we are back at John I. Hurst Stadium on the campus of Southwest Mississippi Community College, where the Eagles will fall tonight to the Southwest Bears by the score of 34-20. And of course, the only score of the second half came at the 4:45 for the Eagles when Nasir Donahue threw a 63-yard touchdown pass to Tyrell Pollard. The PAT by Tanner Hollingsworth was no good, and it capped a 3-play, 69-yard drive that took 50 seconds off the game clock. And Southwest held on to win by 14. It is the Southwest snapped a 14-game losing streak in the process, dating back to the 2023 opening day when they defeated Mississippi Delta 51-6. And also the first time in 13 years that Southwest won over HINDS. Taking a look at the first downs, the Bears had 19, the Eagles had 10. Rushing, the Bears ran the football 40 times for 136 yards to go along with 2 touchdowns. The Eagles had only 28 rushes for 25 yards. Through the air, the Bears were 22 of 35 for 227 yards with 2 touchdowns and one interception. The Eagles were 11 of 32 for 259 yards and 2 touchdowns with 4 interceptions. Total offense, the Bears ran 75 plays for 363 yards. The Eagles ran 60 plays for 284 yards. In terms of penalties, the Eagles were flagged 9 times for 81 yards. The Bears were flagged 14 times for 105. Southwest punted the ball 7 times for an average of 33 yards a punt. The Eagles also punted 7 times for an average of 40 yards a punt. Taking a look at the individual numbers for the Eagles, Nick Thompson had 4 carries for 15 yards. Jamarian Johnson, 6 carries for 14. Nasir Donahue, 6 carries for 7. Julius Bradley, 4 carries for 5 yards, and Jabari Watson 8 carries for minus 16 yards. For the Bears, Chris Hunter was the workhorse for Southwest. He had 23 carries for 120 yards to go along with 1 touchdown. Tadarius Ake had 1 carry for 16 yards. Fred Wells
blocking assignments. And virtually no gain on the play. Great tackle by Davin Cotton, who comes into the game with 15 tackles on the season. The 6'3" senior from Shreveport.
Of course, that extended halftime with the homecoming halftime. So teams may be a little bit more sloppy coming out of the locker room, kind of lost their rhythm. 25-minute, almost like a Super Bowl halftime, if you will.
Vaughn looking, throwing, out of bounds. Nearly hit one of the band directors from Southern University.
So see what those 2 offensive penalties do to your offense. It puts you way behind the chains. It changes your play calling, and it allows the defense to become more aggressive.
3rd and 21.
Jaguars in almost a cover 3 right now.
Vaughn scrambling, looking, goes out of bounds and loses more yardage on the play.
Good job by the defender on the sideline to ease up on the hit of Vaughn. Didn't drive through him. So that's going to be a 4th down now for Alcorn as they kind of sputter coming out of the locker room.
This is the first of 3 tough games on the second of 3 tough games on the road for Alcorn State. They won at Grambling last week, Southern this week, and then Alabama State in Mobile next weekend. Or I should say in 2 weeks.
What a roll.
Takes a heck of a roll. And now they're trying to force the Southern player to touch the football. And flags on the play.
If you're the returner,
you got to get away.
You got to get away. I mean, you're calling everyone else to get away, but you're still in harm's way yourself.
And you had about 4 or 5 players that tried to force the Southern player to touch the football.
I mean, you just run away to the other side of the field away from the football.
Holding on the kicking team, number 45, 10-yard penalty, 1st down, Southern. Timeout. Media.
So the holding call, and it'll be assessed on the first play. We're going to take this timeout, 14 all, here on the campus of Southern University.
You need Tostitos restaurant style. Optimized for versatility, Tostitos can tackle every snack, big or small. Because if you're going to do something, do it right. Tostitos restaurant style, made for snacking.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
For 15 years, the Home Depot Retool Your School program has been championing HBCUs. We've been right there with campus grants, scholarships, and career opportunities. Winning schools have seen their visions for upgrading their campuses and communities come to life through sustainability projects, as well as new places to connect, like innovation lounges and outdoor pavilions. As we celebrate 15 years of partnering with HBCUs, we're excited to keep the momentum going. Retool your school. We're powered by purpose.
Fun, memories, friendship. We're here for all of it. Here for the big moments and the small ones too. We're here for unforgettable triumph, momentary misfortune, and the impromptu throwdown. We're out here each day, chasing something great. Call it adventure, call it play, we call it fun. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
Back here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 14-all between Southern and Alcorn. 2024 homecoming, and now we start seeing traffic going in the opposite direction, Ken.
It is wild over on the hump.
Oh, man, it is really wild. I tell you what, I've seen a lot of great sports here on this campus. And for Southern University, when they hosted the baseball tournament, Coach Cador, former baseball coach at Southern, always hospitable, and they had some of the best jambalaya and chicken wings that you ever want to lay your lips on. That the baseball club did, it was just incredible. So always a great time coming here to Southern University.
You got a great football game going on here tonight. Battle for first place in the West. Tied at 14 here. Opening moments of this third period. First offensive possession here for the Jaguars.
Here's the give. It's going to be Kendrick Grimes on the carry. And a little pushing and shoving going on.
A little love tap.
Jerron Lewis showing a little love to the defense of Alcorn.
A couple of tackling the guard, pulling on that play in front of Kendrick Grimes. Got a nice carry out to the 31-yard line, set up a third down and short. Jaguars have had some good runs off tackle here tonight.
Wallace Melton with a heck of an open field tackle on Kendrick Grimes, who was hard to bring down. Here's Noah Bodden, back, looking, caught. Cam Jefferson, the freshman from Shreveport, moves the chain for the Jaguars, and Southern in business.
Yeah, Jefferson working one-on-one on the opposite side against Summerall and able to win that battle. Just kind of a little back shoulder inside curl.
Nothing doing on first down here. No gain on the play. Cam Jefferson, 3 catches, 37 yards last week for Southern University. Santoria Black along with Ken Moore here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, bringing you today's game between Southern and Alcorn here on the Bluff. Bodden getting the ball out to Kirkwood. Gain of a couple.
And again, just that two-man screen on the outside. They have Quad Davis out front blocking. Then go there to see if the receiver can beat the defender that he has one-on-one. Good open field tackle to hold him to a short gain.
Bodden back to pass, looking over the head of Kirkwood. He was lucky that Bakari McCall didn't pick that one off. McCall coming in with very good eye for the football.
You see the Braves come in with that delayed blitz. Bodden trying to get rid of the football quickly. Just overthrew his receiver.
Jeffrey McKelton, they're trying to get to the football. And now it's a punting time for Southern University. This kick will take a Southern University bounce to about the 17-yard line, and that's where the Jaguars the Braves will take over first down and 10. We'll take this timeout. We are on the Bluff here in Baton Rouge.
All right, let's run that again.
Geico has fast fair claims 24/7 right on the Geico app.
To file a claim, just tap.
Just tap right here to upload pictures, customer.
Try getting on a first name basis.
Sure. Vicky.
To track your status, just click. Super easy.
They're connecting with the mannequins.
You're doing great, everyone.
Ooh, you're a pro.
Scroll, tap, scroll. Ouch! Oh, I'm cramping.
Yeah, we've all been there.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
I overdid it. Like a showboat, I just overdid it.
At this very moment, toxic chemicals are endangering one of the most fragile ecosystems on the planet. You. When you vape, you may be exposing your lungs to toxic chemicals.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
Get 50% off everything online this Sunday through Wednesday.
Have you heard? Deals are popping. Spread the word. Prices dropping. We've got styles that slay. So get on your way. Stop by your Old Navy store today.
There's only one way to reach the top without sacrifice. Cheating.
Cheat on muffins with Muffins. Big on protein, low on sugar, huge on flavor. Quest Bake Shop. It's basically cheating.
Why, 'tis true. I was at sea 4 days when a strange sight emerged from the fog. Next thing I know, vibrant music filled the air. And just as I got me bearings, I came face to face with a group of grim grinning ghosts.
Charlie, let's go.
Unbelievable awaits on the all-new Disney Treasure.
Fans continue to enjoy themselves here in Baton Rouge. 14 all between Southern and Arkansas and Alcorn State University. And you hear the band striking it up here, entertaining the crowd. Centurion Black, Ken Moore bringing you today's game. And this is for first place in the West. Of course, who's going to take control of first place in the West? Jackson State won earlier today, taking control of first place in the East. Xavier Vaughn taking off with the football, still on his feet. Vaughn getting big yardage, and he's out to about the 38-yard line.
Big run by Vaughn, 21-yard scamper. And you see the electricity that he has in those legs. The transfer doing an excellent job. That time reading the coverage, breaking a couple of tackles, getting into the secondary.
This one over the head of the receiver. And that was Tyron Warren was the intended receiver, and he was left wide open, too.
Some of the passes by Vaughn have been a little off target today. You know, he was pretty good last week against Grambling. A couple of throws selling on him here.
To the 40-yard line. Gain of a couple on the play. And a flag on the field.
Personal foul. Baseman. Defense. Number 2. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
Penalty against Southern, and that will give Alcorn 15 more. Horatio Johnson.
See him grab the face mask there. Looked like both of them may have had each other's face mask, but Jags didn't call for it.
Yeah, Horatio Johnson was like, wait a minute, he had my mask. First down now for the Braves. The give to Jacorian Sewell.
He kept it. Nope. Threw it incomplete. Yeah, he tried to dump that one off to Amarian Blakes. And that pass just went into the turf. Blakes will come out. And both teams just a little sluggish coming out of the locker room here in the third quarter.
Vaughn down at about the 45. Maybe a half a yard loss on the play in his third down.
Great job here. Kelby Givens inside, playing sound gap control. And that's what the Jaguars stressed this week. We have to have gap control and rush with integrity when you have a dual threat quarterback like Xavier Vaughn.
Givens comes into the game 32 tackles, 7 for a loss. And I believe that's his second sack of the season. The catch, but nowhere to go. truck Griffin. Turned around, thought he had some daylight, and it quickly went dark.
0-30 that time. You're grilling with your barbecue and your sausage. And then, of course, you got your Cajun flavors with your jambalaya, you know. And
somebody had gator. Yeah.
Alligator. Yeah, that's my favorite. I didn't get any. I hope they have something left after the game.
First down, gain of about a yard on the play. Yeah, he had Southern was number 1 in his Gimme 5 for best HBCU tailgating. Number 2, Jackson. Guess who had number 3? Alcorn State University.
And we've been to all of them.
Oh, yeah. You get full everywhere.
Man.
Bod going deep, looking for the open receiver, just overthrows the open receiver, Cam Jefferson.
And Jefferson had a step on the defender. Biden got hit just as he released the football. Just slightly overthrew him. Jefferson came into the ball game, 4 receptions on the season for only 43 yards, but he's been the main focus of Biden here so far tonight.
They need some yardage here. Good catch. Made by Quay Davis. He's been quiet today, but Quay Davis gets a first down.
That was a great catch by Quay Davis. 3rd and long. A deep comeback route by Quay Davis. We've seen him primarily as a blocker on those outside screens. Tremendous grab.
First down now for the Jags. Getting across the 20-yard line.
Jaguars now, they just trying to pound out and get some good field position where they can open up the offense.
And the other thing it does, these are good drives that take time off the clock. And that means that you got that defense out there trying to get them out there too long and they start sucking wind a little bit.
Absolutely.
This time Alcorn doing a great job in filling the gaps and stopping the run.
And you saw Malachi Bailey shoot through from the left side, missed the tackle. But just his presence enough to cause a disruption in that running play. So another 3rd and long coming up here for the Jaguars. Alcorn trying to get off the field, get good field position for their offense if they can make a stop. All kind of on pins and needles right now, waiting for a big play.
Bod back, looking. Incomplete. That pass was intended for Quay Davis. And now punt coming up for Southern University.
Good coverage in the secondary that time by this Brave defense. So Biden trying to navigate the pocket, bought some time, sliding to his left, unable to complete the throw downfield.
Kenny Pham back to kick for Southern University. Well, he gets a good high kick away. Fair catch at the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. And that is where Alcorn State University
Media
will get the ball after this timeout from here in Baton Rouge. Tied at 14.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Let's unretire.
Why not? Let's see. Hey. I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Some people deny the power of Flamin' Hot. Spicy deniers. They try to deny it to everybody.
Not hot at all.
But sometimes it's just impossible. So why deny it? Unleash your Flamin' Hot.
When you need a tool that does it all, you need Tostitos restaurant style. Optimized for versatility, Tostitos can tackle every snack, big or small. Because if you're going to do something, do it right. Tostitos restaurant style, made for snacking.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
For 15 years, the Home Depot Retool Your School program has been championing HBCUs. We've been right there with campus grants, scholarships, and career opportunities. Winning schools have seen their visions for upgrading their campuses and communities come to life through sustainability projects, as well as new places to connect, like innovation lounges and outdoor pavilions. As we celebrate 15 years of partnering with HBCUs, we're excited to keep the momentum going. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
There is the human jukebox. Of course, they got battles going back and forth, and there will be a fifth quarter coming up after this game. Battle between the Southern University and Alcorn State University marching bands. Of course, you got to be here to see
it. True that.
First down for the Braves. Waning moments of the third quarter, tied at 14. Vaughn takes off with the football. Down at the 45-yard line near a first down.
Again, good coverage in the secondary by the Jaguars. No one open downfield.
Number 15.
Vaughn just decides to take off, use his legs.
Second and 1. Last week he had 9 carries for 15 yards in the contest.
Came into the ball game as the leading rusher in the slot.
And that Jacorian Sewell, he had a heck of a day last week, 102 yards rushing. And that's going to be a first down for Alcorn State. Catch made by Damian Jones from Old Valley, Texas.
Yeah, a little tempo now from Alcorn. Damian Jones was the big play receiver, leading receiver last week.
Give to Anthony Williams. Williams getting a couple in the play. Actually, he's going to be back to the line of scrimmage.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12 men on the field at the time of the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Alcorn will get 5 yards after the illegal substitution penalty.
Yeah, they got the Jaguars. They went quick with the up-tempo, and the Jags tried to substitute late. Got caught with one too many. So that'll give the Braves a free 5.
Anytime you can run up tempo and you cause a penalty against the other team, that is a win. And a penalty here. Let's see who that's going to be charged.
Give him the 5 yards right back.
False start. Offense. Number 7. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Tyron Warren from Picayune, Mississippi.
Tyron Warren had the big, long touchdown reception last week against Grambling to help them in that late comeback victory over the Tigers. Alcorn, who was penalty-free in the first half, already with 4 penalties here in this third quarter for 30 yards. So Coach Cedric Thomas not going to be too happy about that.
Especially the pre-snap penalties. Vaughn stepping up in the pocket. Tackled at about the 50-yard line. Derek Williams on the tackle, came into the game with 25 tackles. I believe that's his first sack of the season.
Great job that time by the Jaguars, being patient, not over pursuing Xavier Vaughn. You have to stay in your rush lanes. There could have been a hole right there as well on 55, but a good job by Williams containing the edge, making a good job getting the sack. There's Tremel Brown, number 55, who had one of the linemen in a bear hug briefly.
Showing love. Vaughn backs up quite a bit. Throws incomplete. Trying to get it to CJ, and Damian Jones nowhere to be found.
That's coached by Damian Jones. Saying, you know, he's kind of one of those no-nonsense kids. Doesn't joke around a lot, very stoic, very serious, hard on himself more than anyone.
Vaughn back to pass. Incomplete on third down.
That is the end of the third quarter.
That is it for the third quarter play, and Alcorn will give the ball back to Southern as the lights go dark and the cell phone lights come out, getting ready for the fourth quarter. Fireworks going off here at Homecoming 2024.
All right, Tina, 6 is hard to beat.
Not for us.
Okay, not soccer, but
football.
Yes. We honeymooned here.
Mallorca.
Yes. Pass.
No, we don't pass, Tina. Come on.
They help give you more.
A tax professional.
And they have a 97% satisfaction rating.
Salami.
You could have done it in a British accent.
That's helpful, Randy.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
Hey, did you know that kid is vaping the same toxic chemical that's used in taxidermy? Formaldehyde?
Formaldehyde.
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 Dermaldehyde. Formaldehyde.
Formaldehyde.
Formaldehyde. Formaldehyde. Formaldehyde.
There's only one way to make the impossible possible. It's a bit of cheating.
Cheat on cookies and cream with Cookies and Cream. Big on protein, low on sugar, huge on flavor. Quest, it's basically cheating.
Get 50% off everything online this Sunday through Wednesday.
Have you heard? Deals are popping. Spread the word. Prices dropping. We've got styles that sway. So get on your way. Stop by your Old Navy store today.
Welcome aboard the Johnson family.
Yeah, they know us. When we arrive, be our guest is the vibe. Kicking it with the crew. And wait, I told you there's an island, right? Ah, yeah. Our magic is glowing. Yeah, you know it's all love. 'Cause we came to play.
Open your eyes
At Total Wireless, we believe you deserve better from your phone service. And we're fixing that. We give you unlimited 5G data for just $25 a month. And we lock your price for 5 years. You deserve to get it all. And at Total Wireless, that's exactly what we'll give you. Find your local store at TotalWireless.com.
Good morning, everybody.
Danny, what are you doing up there?
Watching the fresh morning prep, the sizzling bacon, the slicing of the tomatoes, the bopping of the fresh lettuce. You know, my lease says I get free subs. Freshly prepped every morning. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
New projects means new project managers. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/hire and get started today.
Back here in Baton Rouge, and the fans having a good time here at A.W. Mumford Stadium. You know, if I did all of that, I'd be tired.
It is turned up in A.W. as we go into the fourth quarter.
I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, man, they getting it in right now. Tie ball game, homecoming, 15 minutes to determine a winner, at least.
Here is the punt. Fair catch at the 16, maybe the 17-yard line. And that is where the Jags will take over first down and 10. I tell you what, to start the fourth quarter, they had fireworks going off, playing They Not Like Us. I mean, everything was going on. It was just a whole vibe going on.
Whole light show.
I'm telling you, as the great poet Papa Hussein from Claiborne Parish said, it was lit.
It was most definitely turned up in here during that end of quarter break. Now we can see if one of these offenses can turn up. No scoring in the third quarter. Alcorn had 3 possessions, couldn't move the football. This is the third possession of the second half for Southern. Now they've been backed up. They started at their own 25, their own 7, begin this possession at their own 17. Can't make a mistake here if you know about it.
A stalemate, so to speak, here in the second half. And here's the give. And boy, that defense just tenacious for Alcorn State University. And guess who is there to make a stop? Malachi Bailey.
Yeah, watch number 44 again. They line him up inside this time, breaks through, and he also gets some help from his buddy, Kayvon Henderson. Wallace Melton also getting in on the act as they drop him for a 4-yard loss. And we just spoke about negative plays deep inside Southern's territory. Yeah, this is where you have to be careful if you know about it. 6 interceptions on the season. Can't afford a turnover here.
Incomplete. Third down and long.
And this is exactly where Alcorn likes to eat. Third and long. This is where defensive coordinator Deion Roberson likes to dial up those exotic blitzes. He'll bring 4, he'll bring 5, he'll bring 6, and you don't know where they're going to line up.
And there's that odd front that Coach Graves spoke about earlier this week. And a timeout charged to Alcorn State.
Timeout. Alcorn. That's
their first timeout.
Timeout of the half. It will be a 30-second timeout.
Now, both of these teams, Santoria last week, involved in nail biters down to the end. Southern had to come back against Texas Southern, got a block punt late in that ball game, descended into overtime, got a last-second field goal. And then Alcorn had a big victory last week down in Grambling with a last-second field goal as well.
Well, of course, lots of great football this week. Let's take a look at next week's games. Mississippi Valley will be at Arkansas. Pine Bluff. Jackson will make the trip to Bethune-Cookman. Prairie View at home against Texas A&M Commerce. The Magic City Classic next week. Alabama State, Alabama A&M, and boy, another big one coming up for Southern next week as they go to Tallahassee to take on FAMU. Grambling will be in Houston to battle Texas Southern.
Yeah, Prairie View, homecoming for Prairie View next week against Texas Commerce. So that one will be pretty full as well. Get there early.
Bod will take off with the football. Bod with a first down, makes the slide, And Biden shaken up, and the coaches want a penalty on that play.
Timeout on the field for HINDS.
Wow. The coaches are furious.
Let's take a look at it here. Noah Biden takes off with the football. Now let's see where the defender is when he slides. The defender actually dove over him. He touched him, but I mean, he didn't drill him.
I wonder the momentum of him touching him, if his head went down and maybe hit the turf. But just from everything that we saw was incidental.
Yeah.
Going to take this timeout while they attend to Noah Biden here in Baton Rouge.
Timeout. Media.
Fun, memories, friendship. We're here for all of it. Here for the big moments and the small ones too. We're here for unforgettable triumph, momentary misfortune, and the impromptu throwdown. We're out here each day, chasing something great. Call it adventure, call it play, we call it fun. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
When you need a tool that does it all, you need Tostitos restaurant style. Optimized for versatility, Tostitos can tackle every snack, big or small. Because if you're gonna do something, do it right. Tostitos restaurant style, made for snacking.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
The SWAC, the premier athletic conference in the nation. A collection of schools rich in tradition, pride, and pedigree. Sacrifice, winning, allegiance, champions. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
And Noah Biden, there you see him in the injury tent right now as they will try to find out what's going on with him. As we saw in the replay, it looked like his head hit the turf.
Yeah, his head hit the turf as he slid and got contact from the defender. No targeting, no blow to the head from the defender, but it was just the result of the slide and the hit.
So T-Set will come into the ball game. Here's the handoff and the gain of about 6 yards, maybe even 7 on first down.
That was a big play by Biden to pick up that 3rd and long with his wheels. And now T-Set will come into the ball game. Freshman out of Baton Rouge. Had a couple of ill-advised turnovers last week against Texas Southern. Had a pick 6 and a fumble.
Kendrick Grimes on the carry across the 35 to about the 36. That brings up 3rd and short.
You know, we talked to our offensive coordinator, we talked to Coach Graves, this week about T-Set. He said, look, last week he was just a little too excited. He was a little too hyped up. And he said during film study, Coach, hey, that's on me. Coach Graves said, look, you're a young kid. We got your back. We want you to play aggressive, and we want you to show all of the abilities that you have. This is a very talented young man, and Southern hopes to be their quarterback of the future.
Going to be a first down here for Southern. Kobe Dillon on the carry.
Jaguars continuing to move the ball on the ground against this Alcorn defense. Jaguars trying to bleed this play clock a little bit as we go under 12 minutes.
Big run by Kobe Dillon. And this running game is opening up things a little bit more for Southern University.
We're doing a great job running off tackle. They'll punch it inside every once in a while, but now they kind of have this Alcorn Brave defense on their heels. And again, rushing defense has been the one thing that the Braves have struggled with this year. Giving up almost 180 yards per game on the ground.
This is where Mark Frederick, the offensive coordinator, wants to be at, second and short. Twisting, turning to the Alcorn 48. You need to get to the 47 for the first down.
See Stedman Edwards, the middle linebacker, coming in to make that stop. Big play here for the young freshman.
And you see Alcorn stacking that line. You just never know who's coming, as you said before. With all that movement going on before the snap, you just don't know who's going where.
And probably just turn around and get his ball to Kendrick Grimes.
They're going to call
out. Southern. That's their first call, timeout at half. It will be a 30-second time.
So we'll take a timeout from here in Baton Rouge. Tied at 14, and Southern driving. Back after this.
We now return to our interview with the insurance whistleblower.
I just think everyone should know there's an insurance company out there exposing other companies' rates so you can compare them and save.
Sounds like trouble.
It's great, actually. It's called Auto Quote Explorer from Progressive. Here, look. See, we show you our direct rates and their rates, even if we're not the lowest.
So, whistleblower usually means you're exposing something bad.
I thought it meant calling attention to something helpful. You know, like, toot toot, check it out. This thing's the best. No?
There's only one way to reach the top without sacrifice. Cheating.
Cheat on muffins with Muffins. Big on protein, low on sugar, huge on flavor. Quest Bake Shop. It's basically cheating.
I don't think it's any one thing that's memorable. The whole experience is memorable. You've been somewhere else, that's fine. Go Disney, you're not going to go back. It's just as simple as that.
First up is the first ball that I ever bowled and took a wicket, and I got a better out. My next milestone was to become a champion. You know, cricket is the second biggest sport in the world. Winning at the biggest stage is the moment I knew I have arrived. My third milestone, actually, it's better if I show you. It's a blend of style and luxury. Driving my dream car has always been a lifelong goal for me, and I'm proud to say that I have accomplished it.
Rinsing is a mess? Switch to Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water. Micelles work like a magnet to gently remove makeup without rinsing. Leave skin cleansed, feeling soothed and hydrated for 12 hours. Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water by Garnier, naturally.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description.
Back here in Baton Rouge, Southern University with the ball, tied at 14. ESPN College Football, SWAC Football, presented by Pepsi. We roll on into the Bluff this weekend. And Southern University's homecoming, and there you see the human jukebox. Here is the give to Kendrick Grimes, and he gets the first down.
When in doubt, just turn around and hand it off. Running game has been working for most of the night. Kendrick Grimes over that right side. See Edwards trying to get the defenders lined up properly.
And a 6-yard carry by Kendrick Grimes. And boy, the rushing game has really been prevalent for the Southern University Jaguars in this drive.
You got to give a lot of credit to this remade offensive line that Coach Graves and his staff has put together, and they've done a very good job here this evening.
And another big run. And Kendrick Grimes a little upset at himself because he thought he could probably take it a little bit further.
Yeah, he thought that should have been a house call. They were going to go tempo early. You see him get to the open field, and he just kind of stumbles there in the open field and goes down in the arms of Summerall. With a very methodical drive here by the Jaguars.
Kendrick Grimes just putting his head down and just running over defenders. 3 yards on the carry.
I mean, look, this is all we're missing right now is some dirt and mud, because this is just like 3 yards in a cloud of dust right now, or 3 yards in turf stains, if you will, because the Jaguars are like, look, we're just going to run the football right down your throat until you prove you can stop it. And the Braves have not been able to do so here on this drive. 13th play of this drive coming up for Southern.
That is a long drive if you are the Jaguars. This give to Kobe Dillon. Gets on the other side of the 25-yard line to the 24. And now it's 3rd down and 4.
This drive began all the way back at the Jaguar 17-yard line at the beginning of the quarter. Right now they've used over 7 minutes on the clock.
And this one goes down to about the 22-yard line. Still about 2, maybe 2.5 yards shy of a first down here. Field goal opportunity coming up. This is from 39 yards out. Kick is up, and it is good. Griffin with a 45-yard field goal attempt.
Timeout.
And now Southern University on top 17-14 here in the fourth quarter. Timeout on the field. Back after this.
Okay, trainees, let's work on our fast and friendly claim service.
Eyes on the phone now.
Look alive, Drew.
Your repairs have been scheduled.
Nice.
Yes, you'll get a rental car on site.
Heads up. Oh, I'm going to turn this down to an 8. My bad.
We can do this all day. Geico claim service is 24/7. Nice catch.
Your claim has been approved. Your claim has been approved.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
A dream is a wish your heart makes. And if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true.
First up is the first ball that I ever bowled and took a wicket, and I got a better out. My next milestone was to become a champion. You know, cricket is the second biggest sport in the world. Winning at the biggest stage is the moment I knew I have arrived. My third milestone, actually, it's better if I show you. It's a blend of style and luxury. Driving my dream car has always been a lifelong goal for me, and I'm proud to say that I have accomplished it.
Open your eyes. At Total Wireless, we believe you deserve better from your phone service. And we're fixing that. We give you unlimited 5G data for just $25 a month. and we lock your price for 5 years. You deserve to get it all. And at Total Wireless, that's exactly what we'll give you. Find your local store at TotalWireless.com.
Swag Football on ESPN is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the SWAC, and by Home Depot, proud sponsor of the SWAC, and by Nike. Fourth quarter here in Baton Rouge, under 7 minutes to go. There you see fans continuing to enjoy the bands and all the things going on around here. And, man, it has been just an incredible atmosphere. And there's still just tons of people here because this is really a great game.
Yeah, great game. Very important game in the standings. The winner will have sole possession of first place in the West. And that was a great drive by the Jaguars a moment ago.
Here's a kick, and it sails into the end zone for a touchback, and it's first down and 10 now for Alcorn State. Now you're the Braves, and now some pushing and shoving going on between a couple of players. And, well, you know, they're really showing a lot of love here today.
Nothing like some old school pleasantries here at the Bluff.
Cousins.
Well, what a drive, as we mentioned, by the Jaguars. 15 plays, 61 yards. Took over 8 minutes of the fourth quarter clock. So now the pressure once again on Xavier Vaughn and company. We saw him do it last week down in the hole in Grambling. Let's see if they can do it tonight on the Bluff in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, this is a big drive here for Alcorn State. And on this first down play, going nowhere. Jaguars all over the place.
Corey and Sewell. Been somewhat quiet tonight.
You saw Willie Miles there. He's only 5'9", can really move well. 5'9", 350. Does not move like that.
When I move, you move.
That's exactly right. And a good run by Jacorian Sewell.
Huge third down coming up here for the Braves. You may be in 4-down territory if you don't pick it up here. The big buffet busters come in. They go to that big diamond formation with the two offensive linemen in the backfield with the quarterback and tailback, and now the Jaguars they have a player down.
That's going to be Davin Cotton, the starting defensive tackle, 6'3", 285 from Shreveport.
But when Alcorn comes in with that diamond formation, and you got two 300-pounders in the backfield, and then you got 6 300-pounders up front.
That's a whole lot of men.
I mean, that tilts the field literally.
Yeah. I mean, you know, look, that's the kind of force that you need to get that yard. You want your, as they call it, the jumbo package in the ball game in order to try and move, as they say, people movers.
Hard-fought ball game. Both of these clubs.
Cotton comes off the field.
And we'll see if the Braves come out with the same formation or if they change it up here after the injury timeout. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining here in the ball game.
Looks like Cotton there trying to shake it off. This is going to be close, and it's going to be a first down. Gets to the 36-yard line, and now Alcorn in business with a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, just a design quarterback draw for Xavier Vaughn. 6'6", 200-pound grad student. Transfer from Lincoln University in Missouri. His offensive coordinator came over with him, or should I say the offensive coordinator brought him with him to Alcorn this year.
Xavier Vaughn, big catch. And Truck Griffin getting 9 yards on first down.
And just a underneath drag route that time by Truck Griffin, one-on-one with the defender, outruns the linebacker to the boundary.
And that will bring up second and short. And they pick up the first down to the 49.
Tyler Macon once again. Now, last week it was Damian Jones was the go-to guy. This week it's been Tyler Macon, the former quarterback.
Here's Vaughn with the handoff.
Oh.
That time, nothing doing.
His big offensive lineman kind of got in the way that time. I think that was Trammell Brown who slipped or either got knocked backwards. And then Sewell trips over him.
This is where Alcorn doesn't like to be, and that's second and long. Yeah, it's going to be a flag. Looks like it's going to be a false start.
False start. Offense. Number 71.
DeMarcus Gordon from Tunica, Mississippi with a penalty.
Fifth penalty of the half against the Braves, and that's a big one because now you're in a 2nd and 15 situation. Clock continues to approach 3 minutes here, so things getting a little hairy here for the road team.
Vaughn takes off with the football. Tackled. Oh, he's still up. Ball is on the ground and recovered by Southern. Herman Brister III recovers the fumble. Southern has the ball with under 3 minutes to play. And on the field, Truck Griffin.
Xavier Vaughn trying to make extra yardage with the 2nd and 3rd effort. Breaks one tackle there, but then comes up and gets tagged. Couldn't make out the number. I believe it was Xavier Spencer who knocked the football free. And Herman Brister III comes up with the recovery, the redshirt freshman from Baton Rouge. As you see Truck Griffin head to the sideline, and Brister III, his father and Coach Graves are friends before he came to the university. And he says he's grown so much, calls him Trey. He's grown so much as a player and a leader in that secondary. And he comes up with one of the biggest recoveries of the season so far for the Jaguars.
Now T-set in the game at quarterback. Movement going on there. That'll be a penalty. And Southern, the coaches and players are telling the band to not play because it causes them not to be able to hear the signal up front.
You don't want your band playing while the offense is on the field. So now they just got a 5-yard penalty because the band was playing. It's not a penalty on the band, but the noise from the band, they couldn't even hear their own signals. Put that one on the music director.
Yeah, right. 1st and 15. Here's the give. Straight up the middle. Kendrick Rhymes in the open field. Rhymes. Touchdown, Southern University.
The home run hitter, Kendrick Rhymes, does it again. His 4th touchdown of the season. Right up the middle, where they've had running lanes all afternoon long.
And the Buffet Busters just feasting on the defensive line. Kendrick Rhymes, the beneficiary, and 6 more on the board. That could just about do it. And the extra point try is good. 24-14, 2:42 remaining in the ball game. So now here's the question. If you're Southern University, that's a big score. You give the ball back to Alcorn. They've got 2 timeouts left, plus the 2-minute timeout. So they've got 3 timeouts basically left in this ball game.
Yeah, if you're Southern now, you just don't want to give up an explosive play. You just had an explosive play yourself. You want to make Alcorn drive the length of the field, eat up the rest of this clock. And if they score, they score. But you want them to score by using a lot of the time remaining in this football game. But what a sudden change situation. Alcorn potentially driving down to either take the lead or tie. Xavier Bond fumbles the football. Jags recover. First play after the penalty. Kendrick Rhymes takes it 51 yards to the house.
Tell you what, this offense has just electrified this crowd. Kickoff comes down at the goal line. Macon to the 30. Macon taking all comers and goes out of bounds, and more pushing and things going on. Cousins greeting each other. And that's one thing that you see the coaches out there telling the players, you don't want an ill-advised penalty at this point.
Yeah, you have to keep your cool. Have to stay in the moment. Things can turn on a dime, and we've seen it many times in this conference, particularly in the Wacky West, as we call it, the Wild Wild West. You never know what's going to happen. A Saturday night on the Bluff in Baton Rouge, lightning has struck for the Jags.
A lot of credit to Damon Nivens, the offensive line coach for the Jags. Pass incomplete. Tyron Warren, the intended receiver.
Talk about Kendrick Rhymes. He's had an outstanding career. Heights High School in Houston. So many big moments that he's had here at Southern.
Xavier Vaughn. Completed pass to Damian Jones. Out to the 47, 48-yard line. Big pickup.
A nice in-breaking route that time, and another Jaguar down on the field. That'll allow Alcorn, allow the clock to stop before the 2-minute timeout, so it really gives Alcorn a free timeout here. The Jaguars cramping up here in the late moments of this ball game.
So if you are Alcorn State University, what are you telling your players as you get ready for first down? You get an extra timeout, as you said.
Yeah, you got one play here before the 2-minute timeout, so you definitely want to have a productive play here on first down. And then after that timeout, again, you want to try to score as quickly as possible. You cannot take sacks, you cannot have negative plays, and you cannot have penalties if you're Alcorn in this situation.
Derek Williams, the linebacker, coming off of the field. Near interception, but it was a reception by Alcorn State. Caleb Anderson, check that, it's going to be Tyler Macon with the reception, and we have a timeout on the field. Under 2 minutes to play. Jags up by 10 here in Baton Rouge.
Hey, get your head in the game, son. The scout from football college is up in the stands.
Maybe you'd rather go to school for insurance.
I didn't raise no insurance, man.
But you did, Dad. Football's your passion, but mine is providing around-the-clock protection to progressive customers of Bundle Home and Auto.
Jamie, we need you out here for football. You're giving up on your dream, James.
No, Dad. I'm giving up on yours.
Oh, James, wait! Oh, that's not the exit.
There's only one way to make the impossible possible.
It's a bit of cheating.
Cheat on cookies and cream with Cookies and Cream. Big on protein, low on sugar, huge on flavor. Quest, it's basically cheating.
First up is the first ball that I ever bowled and took a wicket, and I got a better out. My next milestone was to become a champion. You know, cricket is the second biggest sport in the world. Winning at the biggest stage is the moment I knew I have arrived. My third milestone, actually, it's better if I show you. It's a blend of style and luxury. Driving my dream car has always been a lifelong goal for me, and I'm proud to say that I have accomplished it.
Apartments.com has helped millions of renters find their places, and they all have a special place in my heart, which is why I keep a picture of each and every one of them in my wallet. Oh, holy cats. Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
At J&M, we come from a long tradition of making shoes. But don't call us traditional. Tradition says, do it like you've always done it. We say, watch this. Think fast. Roll with the punches. And always paddle your own canoe. Because the secret to being around for a long time is to have a good time doing it.
(24-14) is our score. Southern on top right now. Tell you what, there's still a lot of fans in this stadium waiting to see the outcome of this ball game. Alcorn with the football now on the southern side of the football field at the 49-yard line. Under 2 minutes remaining. Xavier Vaughn looking, going up top, and he goes out of bounds.
Yeah, it looks like a miscommunication between he and Tyler Macon that time. Looks like he was looking for Macon to do an out and up. And Macon just did an out pattern, so Vaughn just threw it away. But now you have a 3rd and long situation here for the Braves.
And this is definitely 4-down territory if you're Alcorn State. Vaughn back. Vaughn looking. Flag on the play. Vaughn goes out of bounds.
And Vaughn took a shot over here on the Jaguar sideline. And you see the officials warning some of the players on the sideline. See Coach Fred McNair getting involved. Penalty marker down back at the 45.
And you know, if the officials have to tell the coaches about sideline shenanigans, that means penalty punishment on Monday.
71. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
And that penalty is against DeMarcus Gordon. Well, he's had a few penalties tonight.
And again, Alcorn had no penalties in the first half. They've had 6 here in the second half. 3 turnovers in this ball game for the Braves as well.
Well, you talk about a heavyweight battle between these two teams. Vaughn looking. Flag on the play. Vaughn getting to about the 48-yard line. But now we got to check that penalty marker back at the 38.
Might be holding once again.
And it will be holding against Alcorn.
Holding. Offense number 67. 10-yard penalty.
The left guard, Cameron Rogers.
Third down.
Braves getting very frustrated now here in the waning moments of this ball game. Their 3-game winning streak on the line, in danger.
3rd and 27.
In this situation, you try to pick up about half so you can make the 4th down manageable.
3 down linemen on the defensive front for Southern. Good defensive tackle. Xavier Spencer putting the stop on Damian Jones, and that brings up 4th down.
Yeah, not exactly the play I would have went to in that situation. You want something where you can pick up some yak yardage, a little simple curl route, defender on top of you.
4th and 21. This is it. Xavier Vaughn takes off with the football out of bounds at the 40-yard line, and that will just about do it here for the Alcorn State University Braves. Well, the offense for Alcorn comes off the field. Defense did their job, and it's now time to talk about our player of the game here in Baton Rouge. Gatorade player of the game, gotta be this guy, Kendrick Grimes.
51 yards to the house coming up shortly, but he had a heck of a ball game tonight, just grinding against this Alcorn defense, and you see the house call there to end this one. 17 carries for $133, and hits the grand slam out of the stadium, makes the lights go out here on the Bluff.
Our Gatorade player of the game.
So you have to give a lot of credit to this Southern Jaguar defense coming out of the locker room. They shut out Alcorn in the second half.
T-Set finally downs the football, and that'll do it. The Bluff at Southern University, named after Scotts Bluff, after the property's previous owner, Dr. William Bernard Scott. The Bluff is also the site of a famous exchange that gave Baton Rouge its name, Red Stick in French. The Bluff. Southern University wins homecoming 2024 by the score of 24-14 over Alcorn State. And they now take over first place in the Southwestern Athletic Conference Western Division.
Got to give a lot of credit to the Southern Jaguars tonight here at home. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, but that offense picked up in the second quarter. Defense took over in the second half, and Kendrick Grimes closes the door on homecoming 2024 with a 51-yard scamper to send Alcorn home without the win.
What a great game here in Southern. So for Ken Moore, I'm Santoria Black saying so long from Baton Rouge, where the final score is Southern 24, Alcorn 14. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.